Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charnick.
And we're live in the studio.
Live.
Hot. It's hot out there.
Live.
It's hot out there.
Our party?
And we got our guests. We have Kris coming in and Brett, right?
That is correct.
From Cannabis. And we have open lines later on in the show. So if you want to jump in with, actually, I already got people hitting me up earlier, like, man, those barbecues you used to have. It's so funny because back in Amsterdam, I always had a barbecue for my birthday, and now I have a barbecue permanently, forever here. So never have non-birthday vibes.
This show is worldwide.
Got what else we got going on? I don't know.
Surprises.
Oh yeah, you got surprises.
Maybe surprises.
Good. I knew you would do that.
Dave's the party guy.
I knew Dave couldn't not surprise me.
Yep. Maybe a little bit.
But we have some. We got some incredible flavors, it looks like.
Holy smokes.
Oh,
So
my gosh. Dave's already been through every single one of them.
No, I have to give my bitch, though, my rant. I don't know what it is about Colorado that makes the bud tenders want to take this fucking horrible sticker they have to put on every fucking thing you buy, and they put it right across the logo you worked so hard on. Why don't they put it on the bottom? Why don't they put it on the side?
If they did it on the 14er stuff, that'd be kind of cool if they put it on that logo, that one. Not the 14er logo, of course, but
on the DJC, right in the middle of the
right
face.
On that. Just slap it down on there.
Okay.
Sticker.
Yeah.
In that case, they're helping you by sticking your label over
Thank you.
the face
Yep.
of that
That
particular
guy.
label.
You don't have to see that guy.
No, that guy.
Right. Saving you.
But anyways, we're post DGC Cub. That was a fun week. They squeezed it in there with the weather, though, huh? They were lucky. It was kind of Colorado, June, organizing anything outdoors is such a crapshoot.
It was the perfect sized venue, though, for the people they had there. You didn't have to walk very far from where you parked.
No, those they're really cool. I actually met the owner of that place. She was. I went up to the RV and she was standing outside the RV, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's not loving the RV. Like what the hell is this like in front of her house, you know?" And I was like, "Oh hey, yeah, the guy told me to park it here." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my son." She's like, and then she's kind of looking. I gave her the whole spiel of what it's gonna look like. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. Now it looks like a piece of crap, but soon it's gonna be the mobile studio. It's gonna have all.
You have to have vision.
Yeah, it was all but I did get. I hope you guys come back next year. So that's good. We didn't.
I tell you, we did get a compliment too from Julian from Dab Logic. He planted the seed. He's like, you and Adam should really do an ADSI.
Oh,
just
don't
saying.
Don't you worry. It's
That's
not
what
like
he said.
It's not like
He's
I don't,
like,
Yeah, well, you love to say that, but then when it comes to the reality,
no, Mark is going to plan it all.
No.
He before you got here, he's like, I'm going to take on everything.
We'll just get Mitch to do it. We'll have Mitch come back full
Mitch
time.
will come
There we go.
From our staff is on the same.
I don't think
great.
Mitch is doing anything in cannabis anymore unless he can.
We have Kyle now. Kyle who
Yeah.
put it all together, everything.
Yep.
The whole second day was all Kyle. He
And the fire? He did the fire, or was that?
Dave.
What do you mean?
Dave.
What do you mean? Somebody dropped something and it caught fire for a second.
You don't need to focus on the fire. You should focus on the good stuff.
The good stuff is that the fire brought everybody outside to the tent, and then the tent got rocking.
That was true. That was true.
I hope the feds ain't watching this.
No, because all the feds they
And it wasn't even a real fire.
Week.
It was a stupid fire. It was an alcohol fire, which that's very dramatic looking.
Sure.
But once you play around with it enough, you're just like, dude, I'll put it all over me and whatever. So it was more of a visual than anything. And I think it was also Tops going a little maniac. Tops went a little crazy.
I didn't
Screaming
notice.
fire.
Oh, you did?
You scream fire enough times, people will move really
that's
quick.
not good.
Oh, I didn't even know the story behind it.
I know
I just
you did.
know people
I
came
know.
outside, and I was like, "Fucking, this is cool." And somebody's like, "Yeah, somebody dropped a slurper into a thing of alcohol, and it ignited for a second." And I'm like, "Okay, that scared everybody." And they're like, "Yeah." They all came out here. I'm like, "Cool, good for us." I bet you sold
I've
more
seen
seeds
people on
after
fire
that.
on 151. That's
It's a little different, Vinny. We're not at a fucking carnival, and you're not, spitting flames.
spitting it out.
Right.
If you want to try some.
Yep.
Sure.
So 56 revolutions around the sun.
Not yet.
In 2 days?
I've got 2 days, dude. I'm fucking young still.
I
I'm
think
still
after-
young, and vibrant 55-year-old at the moment.
Oh.
In 2 days, though. Oof.
So what was the last year like getting the senior discount in all the places?
I haven't used it single time yet.
No?
No, I haven't even.
Really?
Nope. Just throw those AARP cards away as they roll in. You know, now they just come bombard you. It is funny too because now they have such like focused advertisements. You know, it's like you get the worst ones now. You're like, hey, over 50 Colorado resident, dude, here's a list of crap you can sign up for right now. You know, and I'm like, no.
Polka dancing, bingo nights.
Exactly.
You know, all the fun stuff those old people do. Yeah. Yes,
But no,
yes.
it's going to be. It's actually because funny because now you start to go like now you start calculating some things where you're like, oh shit, oh man,
you're having morbidity thoughts?
It's like once you hit 60, then it's over, dude. You might as well just pack it up, right?
Just pack it up.
Pack it up and pack it in at that point. But every time I get to those points, it's not true. It's like fuck.
You still feel
Someone
20.
lied to me. They said
Just
30
in
was
the beginning.
over, and that was
Yeah.
nothing. And then you go 40, that's nothing. 50, that ain't nothing. 60, though,
It is what
My
you make
dad's
of it.
still mowing the lawn
Yeah,
at
you're still just a
87.
cool dude. You know.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
it's definitely puts things into perspective a little bit though. It's like everything's 20 years now. 20 years. Everything's a minimum of 20.
In 20. Well, what is it? 60, 80 is the new 60, right? So it's like 20 years older. If you're 80, it's like the 60 of 20 years
Yeah,
ago. Or
that's about my
that's about
parents
right.
right there.
is that how it works?
That's about right.
You know.
Uh,
So TS Labs, I got to tell you, just the nose on this rosin here is really on point. Really on point. How long you guys been in business, and how did we find you?
Well, yeah, we're with Kaya, but we
Dave
God.
knows nothing. Dave does not do any.
What do you mean they brought this? What?
Yeah, no, we also
Are
are
these your
really
buddies?
proud of our partners. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to come and shout them out too, and we wanted to kind of show everyone off in the gang. You know, Cold Cure especially, and TS Labs, and then with our flower, we're just really stoked on it. We just wanted to kind of share with you guys and see what you thought.
We're definitely down.
Well, this flower's got a hell of a nose on it. Is this the one I just opened?
That is correct,
What's
yes.
this one? I can't read it.
That's
So
just a
that
tricky
is
one.
the double Mandarin Daiquiri. That is our sativa
Mandarin Daiquiri.
highlight option that we have here. And we do a lot of trades with similar vendors with TS Labs, Cold Cure especially. And they just produce great quality product for us on the extract side.
So let me ask you a question. You called it a sativa dominant hybrid. How many days does it flower?
On the double Mandarin, Kris, I'll defer to you there.
Yeah, all of our flower rooms go to about 9 weeks, and then our cure is really, I think, where everything kind of comes through, and where we've changed a lot of things. Brett and I are both kind of newer to the company, but it's with some of the stuff that we've done on the cure side, it's been, I think we've been able to really pull out these terpenes. So we give it like a 2-week cure. We start off just trying to like really pull it down. We try to get it down to like about 50%, and then we kick the moisture back up to about 60 and just let it chill for, another 12 days or so.
This is all still on the stem.
Yeah. And it's all just
In
hanging.
Colorado, it's like it's one of those places. The longer you can leave it, the better usually, and it's one of those like learning curves pretty fast. The first learning curve as a grower is the cure here in Colorado, which is very tricky. Actually, I say it's tricky, but it's actually better than if it's too humid, because humidity is like if you're in, you go to Hawaii or something like that. And it's like oh man, this is great, and then it's like, but then the weed never is cured good because people are always handing you like brown buds, and you're like, wow, that's kind of crazy because it's fucking beautiful. Yeah, that shit happens like so fast, unless you keep it in the perfect environment, which it's hard if you're moving around, right?
So
Yeah.
being from Alabama myself, the
yeah.
humidity is a challenge to be able to work with, especially the curing and the drying.
Now making hash,
aspect
dude,
of that.
that's one of the reasons why. So this is some dry sieve that I made, but like I just the other day I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm turning everything off, letting it go just ambient and see what happens, and it's like it sits right at the perfect in the 40 zone. You can screen again, you know what I mean? Because like I had it room all set up for curing, and it was too wet to. So basically, I was in like a double thing where I'd be like, well, if I can't make hash till I finish the weed, you know what I mean? I can't do both at the same time.
It's a personal preference in terms of what kind of final products you're interested in. For those that are interested in certain terpene profiles, maybe a dry sift or a, just bubble hash would be sufficient.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I'm
those that are
making
wanting-
seeds, so for me, it's just more that I can't do both. You know, what I mean, you can't really do
Sure.
fresh frozen and make seeds. It's
Sure.
kind of
that
one
makes
of,
sense.
it's one or the other at that point. Now we have
Really?
the dry
Didn't we
sift.
discover that?
you can do it, but it's not ideal. You know what I mean?
It's more trouble than it's worth at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting when you can do it, and the seeds that come through are kind of already kind of ready to go because they've been chilled down so cold. You know, when we hit -70 is pretty cold. So you're like, hey, these things made it. And then when they make it through, and I was really surprised at the germ rate. It's just more of on a commercial way of thinking. If you're going to be selling, making your own seeds, sure, but if you're selling the seeds, it's kind of like, want them just to slow and low, kind of like you do with hash. And
No doubt. Yeah, I had a background as a plant breeder as well, so being able to, really run it down as long as you can, that was the
so you
ideal
said
situation.
so you said you guys are newer to the group. How long you been with Kaya at this point?
We're both within this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and what was the like when you guys came in? Was there like you just slid in on their thing, or you kind of came in to redial it in, or how was that from a grower's point of view?
Yeah, the train definitely was already rolling,
Mhm.
and so we were just coming in to try to like help refine it a little bit, and just kind of help bring the quality up the best we can. Our whole mission is just providing the best flower we can to the retail side,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think just with dialing in a lot of the things that we have, it's been.
And were they already growing like same style as you, or
For
were you-
sure.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that-
All the growing is still the same. DJ's was the one he's been with the company the longest with that side, and he did a lot of the breeding. So a lot of our strains are done with in-house as well.
Nice.
And so yeah, that's all pretty much the same. We were just coming in just to get it to that next little bit, and help everyone else.
They have.
My first thought on this,
Mhm.
the cure, maybe that's it. The better the cure, the better the flavor translates from the nose to the smoke. Like a lot of times you put your nose on a bag of weed, it smells great, but you're not getting that same taste.
Yeah, when it comes
This tastes, it has a very dominant flavor to it that is passing through.
You have a filter form?
Do we have any more yo tips?
Right there.
It's really nice.
But I'm
What
glad
was
you
this
said
again?
that.
They've
Double
had-
mango?
They've had one job.
Double Mandarin
They've had
daiquiri.
one job.
No, I thought my job was the news. It's bringing yo tips.
Well, you don't do either. So.
Well, there we go. So then it's more than one job I don't do.
Ah, here we go.
Yeah.
See,
Thank Mark
Thank
on the
God.
spot. Woof.
Thank God we have a real producer around here that knows how to produce shows. He's got all the things ready to go. What
He's
do you-
looking forward to producing the ADSI with Kyle. Thank you, sir.
Cool. Thanks, man.
But I'm glad you brought that up because that translation from smell to taste to actual smoke, that's a big differentiator, and that's what I like to think that we're bringing to the table and will continue to bring to the table.
Wait,
That-
Mark, don't sit down. We need an ashtray too.
Nice.
What kind of plants were you growing before cannabis? What were you working with?
Myself, so I have a background working with, say, wheat, corn, peanuts,
Okay.
major row crops.
Right.
I come from more of the academic side of things to where we were just trying to help out farmers. So worked with extension agencies and just tried to help them in variety selection.
And did you transition into the hemp side when that was going down?
I
or-
did,
I
yeah.
figure that was the one thing which was interesting is that whole time frame, like 17, 16 through 21 or whatever, was like all the cannabis growers got an education in big ag, and all the big ag people kind of got an education in cannabis, and there was some people saw the okay, I'm stepping over here and I'm staying over here, and then most of it from the ag going towards cannabis, not so much the other way around, because most people figured out like, holy fuck, dude, this is a lot of work, and you can lose your shit really quickly, which is what happened to most of the fucking farmers, unfortunately, out there.
Especially in states like Kentucky.
I was going to say, yeah, you were sort of in the place where everybody was getting promised crazy numbers, and
It was the gold rush of gold rushes.
it was,
I was at a hemp field there in 2016 where they were growing, and the mosquitoes were this big.
Yep.
Okay.
So when you're talking about environmental conditions, working with a certain crop, that's what I did.
Your mic's on, Vinny.
Working with hemp or working with wheat or corn or peanuts and try to translate that to hemp.
Yeah, and there was, I mean, you could see the people who had the stars in their eyes, and they were like, ha, like, and then from the other side, though, it was like also with a very short time frame, you saw, like 100,
People losing their shirt.
$250,000 fucking equipment costs completely just eaten up because
People didn't understand. I would go into fields and they would be fresh harvesting everything, putting it into bales. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, when they were
You're just
rolling them,
rotten.
when they were rolling them fresh like that,
Yep.
and you were just like,
Rotten in a pole barn.
Like, what are you doing?
For the
Exactly.
whole season.
Yeah,
And then you come January, February, hoping that market turns around, you're SOL because
Yeah.
everything's rot.
yeah. Well,
That's a
it's
shame.
it's
Did
like
they not think of that at all?
no.
You would like to think that they would, but no. I mean, it was just people with a bunch of money hoping that they could make a bunch more money.
Well,
That's-
and that's the thing
that's
is
the main
like,
part of it, in my personal opinion.
when you're a cannabis person and you appreciate like you could look at a room full of weed and there might only be a small percentage of that weed that you'd even want to touch. You know what I mean? Whereas if you're not, you're just looking at that room full of weed. Is that room full of weed? So I got 3 tons of weed, and it's like, no, you don't. You got like maybe a couple ounces of weed that anybody would even touch. The rest of it is done, is toast. So they're like, this shit's been sitting in a barn, heating and cooling all winter and summer long, and it's like dust.
Yeah, don't think of it like an agriculture crop. Think of it like beef stew. It'll sit in the crock pot for a day, just fine. Once you set it aside and it's just room temperature,
But push it through
You-
Instagram.
it's done.
On our shit.
so I know.
Yo, Vinny,
Vinny,
Yeah.
turn off your mic.
turn off your mic.
And that's what it came down to. I mean, people just were expecting to make
fucking
money
right.
hand over fist. And when you go into that with that mentality, you think you can do whatever it is that you want. You have no agricultural background or principles into how you can translate that into a non-established crop.
We have some friends right now that are like cannabis people that are coming back into the fold, doing little bits of hemp, but mostly growing like all the classic crops like sorghum and soybean, etc. But they're really focusing on proteins, and once again, hemp just kind of rocks those worlds. So like now they're like, even though it's like if you have a finishing, that's the whole point, is to have some goal. Because if you don't have a goal, you're fucked. Like if you're standing there hoping that someone's going to buy your hemp that you just grew, even if it's industrial hemp, which you'd think would be like universal, it's so hard to find that customer for that product. You know what I mean? Like
And
it's
it
like if
depends
somebody
on what
cut,
kind of industrial hemp. You got
Yeah.
the textile fiber side of things, and, you have
and
the
no one's
actual
doing
product.
fiber, so that's like
No.
pretty much you got nobody, right?
But once upon a time, there was a hope.
Because people think of it as a cannabis crop. They don't think of it as an agriculture crop. If it was an agriculture crop, there would be an ag contract. You'd have a third down before you ever planted a seed or a clone. You'd have another third delivered, before harvest, and then the third delivered at harvest. And one of the most important people outside the person who's your farmer is your salesperson. And hemp companies didn't do anything like that back in the day. They were exactly what you said. They thought, I'm just going to grow it, and somebody's going to show up and back the truck up and dump the money out. And maybe in 2016 they did that for that year.
There was a
And that was it.
moments in time for sure, but
You're joking, but you're really not. Like that is reality, and that was such a shocker for so many people that came in just expecting, I can just throw money at this and I'll get it back guaranteed, 100%. No, that should not ever be the expectation. But when you go into untreaded waters, you hope to find that really gold mine there.
Well, we called it unicorn chasing. That's really what it was. And it was so strange. Adam and I would be sitting there one day, we'd be talking, and be like, hey, do you know anybody who can source 57,000 pounds? And it's that exact 57,539
of oil.
Of oil.
It wasn't even for weed at that time. It
They're
was crazy.
going to be doing a new thing.
Numbers were just like,
And then somebody else would call Adam and say that exact number, and then somebody would call it that exact number, and and you're like, no, somebody's just throwing the float on to find out how low the industry will go to get everybody who knows somebody competing with them to see how quick it goes from, $1,000 a ton with all the markups to now it's $56,000 a ton, and people are thinking they're going to be a billionaire.
Well,
on
the funny
paper.
part too was when and if there ever was a sale, then all the brokers came out of the woodwork. Like there was like 27 brokers on one deal. You know what I mean? And you were like, what? Come on, dude. Like this is not going to make sense. So but there'd literally be like 4, 5, 6 people on the same thing. And then it was like, by the time it all got cut up and turned. It's like now the big dreams are just fizzled away.
Well,
and it's
remember-
almost not worth the time and energy.
It's market maturity.
We
at the end of the day,
actually
too.
we wound up on like the finish line of a deal, and had a point written in, a point, 1 point, and got called names, greedy fuckers. I'm like, it's 1 point. Oh, I see what you are right now. That your true colors come out. I'm like, what? Are you out of your fucking mind? If we were selling any other product or any other commodity, we're talking 10%. Okay, sales commission, not 1 point. And the only reason it's 1 point is because your unicorn has 2 commas in it. Okay, and that's why we'll take 1 point on the deal. And did it ever happen? Fuck no. Never fucking happened. So I think the industry could do for a resurgence, because we need to get back to it's going to go there. We're going to be mining for milligrams again, and it'll be this connoisseur bud, what Adam grows, and everything else will be mids.
I believe it'll be a cyclical thing, just as everything is. I imagine it comes and it goes. So if you can time that in a way that you're buying when there is blood in the water, and you maintain that quality that we have done. I mean, we have not been a part of Kaya for some time. However, Kaya's been doing this business for 15 plus years. Right. So to be established in this market and be able to persist within this market despite all the changes, I think that's what sets us apart.
And so, did you guys meet at Kaya, or did you guys know each other beforehand?
We met at Kaya.
Okay,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
cool. So that's nice. But,
Yeah, man.
And then when you came, so you're also Colorado based, or beforehand, or where?
Yeah, right on. So I've been out here since 2012,
Okay.
and then
The magic year it all went down.
Yeah.
The BHO year.
Yeah.
Oh, the Botard, the year of the Botard, 2012.
Yeah, and I started my weed growing out in Eugene. That's where I first started.
Here we go.
What year?
It was 2010. That's when I first moved there.
I was gone a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very late on the scene.
Yeah, 92.
Mm-hmm.
The Soma days.
Good years.
Well, that's when you wind up not having to worry about weed when your when the guy who grew your weed was Soma. It was
Sure.
easy times back
So
then.
where'd you move to Eugene from?
I moved from Lincoln, Nebraska is where I grew up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Sagamother Seeds. You know Sagamother Seeds? You ever heard of them?
Mm-mm.
No?
Sacamano? Like
Oh,
from
wait, say it
Seinfeld?
again.
Sagamother.
Oh,
They're
no, I
from
don't know.
Amsterdam. Well, the guy's from Nebraska. He's from Lincoln. So,
Oh, okay.
Tony. Stony Tony. Tie-dye Tony, he was on tour, right? So he was on tour as Tie-dye Tony. Then he got to Amsterdam, never left. Another refugee. Started Sagamother Seeds with Simon from Serious Seeds, and it used to be called Cerebral Seeds back in the day, in the very beginning. And Tony had some good contacts, and it was like different, completely opposite people though too. You have, of course, Serious Seeds,
Mm-hmm.
which is AK-47 stuff like that. Simon's like laser focused breeder. He breeds falcons, so it's like, okay, you're a falconer. You got some. If you have to sit there and work with falcons, I'm sure you can work with cannabis. It's probably
Should be easy transition.
it's in your wheelhouse at that point, right? And then you got Tony, who's just exactly as he sounds, tie-dye Tony from Nebraska, who's just like, woo, everything is just so happens, you know what I mean? It was always funny. Completely opposite breeding styles. But when you came in from, so when you were in Eugene, what were you doing out there as far as learning, or you were already growing and then you went out there to kind of hone your skills?
Yeah, that's where I wanted to just go to learn, just to
It's a good spot.
be able to grow and not be
All stressed out.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That is not an easy place to grow. I mean, everything wants to mold.
Sure.
The moment it's
Yeah.
I
Talk
mean-
about the cure. That's a whole nother side of trying to just keep the moisture out of it.
Right.
You know?
Which is way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to add moisture to a room than it is to take it out. And you're on that, the minute your shit goes down, you're submerged. You know what I mean? Whereas the other way around, you could kind of limp it along if you had to.
That's why I
you
definitely
don't even
prefer
wanna
the
clo-
Colorado humidity.
yeah. You don't want to close a door. You didn't even want to put a sheet down over your closet because the moment it became enclosed and you didn't have air circulation, you got mold.
Yeah.
Well, that's hence all the good mycology up there.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
literally
yeah.
like
Yeah.
Colorado, not so much at all. Like
Yeah,
there's
no.
nothing really here happening, but up there, yeah, you can
Yeah, man.
You get
stumble across just
Like
a
an
whole-
acre.
You're like, holy shit, look what's going on. here.
Shiitake logs.
Yeah, and it could not be there one day and then it's there the next.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, of all the states, definitely Nebraska's still not up
no.
to speed in any way, shape, or form.
No.
No reason to go. Like, what is the situation? Is there medical there right now, or
No,
Not
every
even?
time they've tried to vote it, but the governor keeps vetoing it.
I feel like it's one of those
Yeah.
like Idaho and Nebraska seem like the two kind of
They'll be the last
the
ones.
holdout spots, really,
Yeah.
right? They make too much money on the revenue, probably from the people traveling through.
No,
it,
I don't know
so
anymore.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
it's just
Nebraska just
80.
crush it. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah,
just
man.
crush it.
They all have like the fanciest of sports cars for the cops. You know, like they have so much money that they just steal.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just steal money.
Well, they know that their
constantly.
money's going west and the weed's coming east, and
Mhm.
they can kind of time it right. Like if we just
Setting
catch,
it up.
way easier to get the money than it is to get the
For
weed.
sure,
You get like
right.
just get the money in. You know, I don't know.
Who's
going to
come back? Yeah.
Where did it go? We got $1 million. Oh, where'd that $500,000 go? Oh, yeah, I processed that $250,000.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, it must be crazy when you get like the temptations are so high for those guys, and
And there's no oversight.
no,
How do you police the police?
right.
It's a tough conversation.
Well, Alabama, like you're coming from like the two. Basically, you guys are both coming from like two of the states which are just like you butt puckers when you drive through it. You know,
They
what I
don't
mean?
care for
Like,
that.
There's no,
They don't care for
like
that too much,
Alabama is
yeah.
like
and
where
Kansas.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing I hate is when they have cars facing you, like when the car's at a 45-degree angle and it's facing you as you're driving into any town, you're fucked. Like at that point, you better just have your shit together because they are literally just dying to get into that car and chase you in some way,
yeah.
shape, or form. But it's like, so yeah, you ever see them like that? I'm always just like, oh god, here we go, here we go. This
Especially small towns in Alabama. Yeah. You got to watch out when that speed limit drops 20 miles an hour. It's like, oh, shit. Okay, I'm not on the interstate anymore. I'm not on this highway anymore.
Yeah, well, it's like that where I'm out at too. It's just like the whole as I'm driving, nothing. I get close, within about 10 miles of my house, and my radar detector is just going off left and right. And it's like, god damn it, every third car is a cop around here. You
Yep.
know, it's like,
They're just waiting for you.
yeah,
I know somebody's going to do something.
What was that movie about the pot grower on Mount Tam, and he loads up his pickup truck, puts a tarp down, and then loads a bunch of manure on top of it, and the state trooper pulls him over, or the cop, and he's like, bet you think you're pretty funny, don't you? He just looks at it and he goes, get out of here. Because he didn't want to fuck with it. You know, so I don't know. I don't know why I brought that up. What you said before that made me think of that.
So, and then in Eugene, until what year? You said 2012 out
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I came out in 2012.
And what year did you get out to there?
2010, just not too
Just
much
for a couple
longer.
years. A
Yeah.
couple years.
Mhm.
And you were doing organic growing, I'd assume, out there. Cause
He was
Yeah.
with Rare Dankness right at the beginning, too.
Yeah, with Dread, that's kind of.
Okay, well then, in good hands there. Dread is like, we always call him he's like the bastard child of the industry, basically, right? Because he's like a little bit from here, a little bit from there.
Mhm.
He worked with Derek, and then he went with, but it's also like, it's funny because he went with Scott, and then he went with DNA. And then it's like he just like literally down the road, but he's doing good things.
That's what we like to
Illinois
hear.
is crushing right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the facility they've built just looks amazing.
Yeah, like I've definitely dialed in really well, and you can see the continuity from the other places that he's worked at though too, where you can see the progression each time. It's
Mhm.
like they kind of stay within the same wheel. It's not like a complete different setup. Like I hate people going vertical and have double
yeah.
stacks and all that
Mhm.
kind of shit. To me, that's always just like it's great if you're a number guy and you're like sitting there trying to figure
Sure.
it all out. But when it comes to the actual reality of quality
Application of it.
quality of this level and that level being the same, it's pretty hard because the temperatures are so hard to keep in
Mhm.
check once you
Yeah.
and it's like when you get up at a ladder in a grow room and you're like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
dude, it is hot
This
as
is what it's like
balls
up
up.
here,
Like
yeah.
holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Now it makes me feel that much better when you're down bottom because it's like there's so much difference. Every foot is getting
Right.
incredibly
Yeah,
different.
just think how hard it is to try to like keep an entire room from floor to ceiling the same, and then add all those lights. Your strategy has to be really Like you have to really kind of want a certain kind of thing, you know. You can't have much variety within that.
You know, yeah, it's like so LeConte's had. Do you remember when they had this? Do you ever see that spot that was down by? It's over by Stapleton and that really weird. They had like that old storage locker place.
No,
And they converted it.
I remember one off Washington though.
Oh, that was the other. Yeah, that was their little funky spot. But they had like a grow that was in these old. It was in a. Actually, it wasn't even old. It was an active storage place, and the storage place had all these units with no roof. So like, if you just got up high, you could look into all the units, and I mean, it was not isolated in any way, shape, or form. They took one half of that building, and then they tried to create all these little rooms, and they had. I think Steve Herron was working for them at one point, and they had the first of those fucking deals where you'd hit the wheel and it would like close the walls and stuff. Oh my god, dude, it was a disaster. It was like such a they spent $1 million on this whole setup building it, and they definitely did not grow $1 million worth of weed ever, I don't think, and or like I think once you did all the numbers, it was like exactly the same as if they had a really good crop. You know what I mean? So you're like, you just limit yourself on those kind of situations.
Yeah.
Good to trial that out prior to getting to that point where you actually implement it on the application side of things. So, and that's what I think we've done very well.
What are you guys using for medium and stuff?
Again, I'm not as involved in the cultivation side of things on this
cocoa.
side.
It's all cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 70-30 or is it
It's 80-20.
80-20?
Mm-hmm.
And newt lines and stuff, you guys are just working with your own stuff, or
It's all organic, yeah. It's kind of they mesh a lot of stuff together. Like it's not just one line. Yeah.
I mean, the key. It's funny because every brand has like one product that stands out usually anyway. So it's like, if it's Aptus, it'd be Facilitator. You know what I mean? And if it's every brand has their like Psychos, which nobody really ever bought. I don't think everybody just gets free boxes of it when they go to a trade show. But the only thing in that whole box is the enzymes. Everything else is garbage. Like, so you see people walking out of the trade show with their huge line of Psycho products, and it's like, yeah, you pretty much can throw everything away except for that one product. You know. So if you just take a little bit from each one, kind of build your own. What's the base though? Is there like a certain main product line that you guys are running for your base?
Off the top of my head, I'm gonna just have to say I can't remember.
But in terms of us having, our own stock solutions with, not relying on these bottled nutrients and being able to trial within, in-house our own variety development with our breeding programs as well, I think that's kind of sets us apart as well in terms of what we offer compared to others that maybe rely on those.
If you guys are going on a sort of on an organic tip, you should check with. You seen that grease line, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you guys played with that at all?
No, we're just talking about that. We're gonna involve some of that into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, the thing is, it's a lot of. It's
Wow.
kind of
You're right.
a little over. It's kind of a little overwhelming at first when you look at the line because you're like, holy fuck, dude! Like, kind of breaking all the rules of like keeping it of the KISS technique maybe from back in the day where we're like, hey man, just simplify, especially on a commercial situation because it is like, if you got 3 different people doing the same job. And the job requires you looking at a chart that has 27 products on it, which they do, and it's like 1 mil of this, half a mil of that. Nothing really much. The dosages are really small, but there is a lot of fucking moving parts. But it's amazing every time I use it. I'm like, well, now I see why. You know what I mean?
And when you're using it, like you said, do you write it down? Like keep a formula going of how you administered it so that the next time, or is it all just like a feeling?
No, well, the thing is they got it dialed up to like I said, down to the half a mil per gallon. So it's like, it's very finite. So right now I'm just following their thing, and it seems like, it's nothing's like critical because it's not like you're not running your macros or anything like that. So it's not like you have like you could skip this product or add that product, but it's like the FPJ, their
FPJ?
Yeah,
what's it stand for?
The fermented plant juice.
There we go.
Which is the hemp derived one. That kind of like, sort of makes sense because you're using the plant to feed, cannibalize itself really. But that shit is amazing. Same with Miles' stuff?
Miles' stuff, yeah.
You guys running any of that, or?
No, but I do know Miles. I
That's-
have done some of his stuff. I've grown some of his wolf
To have
before,
it on
too.
the
What's
second
awesome
round.
with Miles' stuff is to even like cannabis. Obviously, it's great
to
to
hear
use
it.
it, but it's
Mhm.
also when you start hitting them on all sorts of vegetables and things, and flowers and vegetables and whatever. You're just like, the vibrancy is crazy. Like you'll come in the next day or even a couple hours later sometimes, and just like, whoa, shit! Like it's just
Yep.
they thicken up so nice, and they're, like my wife hit them up to a bunch of like squashes that just
Oh, yeah.
like haven't even hit the ground yet, and they're already looking like they're like ready to go. So yeah, all
Even
those
his squash ferment would be great for that too. Yeah.
for sure. And I just got the watermelon one from him, which
Oh, sweet.
which literally sweet. It's literally. And then the comfrey one is killer. All those products.
Mm-hmm.
We just want him to call it Wook Juice instead of. That seems like much better.
I am so impressed.
Thank you.
It doesn't even matter what the strain is. Again, the exact same feeling.
Cool.
It has a nose. When it burns, it has an intense flavor. It's not. You guys got to try this, okay? I'm just saying, if you're in Colorado, Kaya. Although, I talked. We were talking beforehand. I didn't want to make the same mistake I did when we had the Rare Dankness guys on, and I said that it was a koala. When it was the skunk on the front. So I totally butchered it because I didn't recognize that as an A. But it's cerebral.
Yeah.
It's a good logo. It's again, you don't cover up their logo with a sticker.
It's high school when you start, just like, I don't need another whole line over here. I just use that one to make that one, and that one can do that one.
Exactly.
So you guys are on to something here. The cure. You probably should have kept that completely quiet. Because now I'm going to talk about it all the time. Because then we're going to get to the third one. If it's there and that one, then we.
So are they running a perpetual setup?
Repeatability.
Yeah. We
That's
have
what we're about.
we have two facilities. One in
this
North
is that
Boulder
same double
and
manor
one
daiquiri.
down here in Denver.
This is the lemon mellow that I recommended earlier.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
that's a great one.
Mumbolino
If
over
you're
there.
into
That's for sure.
lemon terps, that's really good, I think. Mm-hmm.
That is my personal favorite.
Wow. Chuck is something. Chuck just went, "Hey, are they talking about me?" Somebody said lemon.
I'm rolling up lemon mellow.
That's what we're
Really?
looking
Yeah.
at right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, where's this? Do you know the lineage, the history of the genetics?
Yeah, I can tell you all those.
Because this is like more lemon than Chuck. This is.
Hey, now don't
Sorry, Chuck.
get Chuck going.
Sorry, he doesn't listen. He's in Cuba or something like that right now.
This is the most lemony.
I think this is the
smelling
one we rolled
strain
first.
I've had in a while.
Yeah, this is the one we
got-
rolled first.
I got some concentrate from the.
The one
Try
we
it.
had was the
What's
cherry
this one?
breath on the flower.
This is a sticky lemon from Covert Genetics.
Oh, that has such a great nose.
That's got
on
a
it.
real. That's got that lemon, but boom,
Well, maybe it was this
Mm.
one.
a little more burnt, maybe.
That hits.
Yeah, a little more burnt, kind of peeled, maybe, but it's very lemony.
I love that.
And that one's funny too. It's like what, about 6 months old, 8 months old,
Mhm.
something like that. And it's just like one banger, and you're just like fucking fills the room.
Yep.
This is and Covert's Jonathan's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
The lemon mellow, that's our super sour lemon with mimosa. Mm-hmm.
And you were saying that most of these were bred in house.
Yeah. DJ did most of the work with all these,
Nice. And
Mhm. and we grow.
how many strains are you running at the time at the moment? About
Oh,
give or take.
we each grow does their own separate, so we probably try to maximize it around 50-ish.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wide variety.
That's big library. So do you keep moms and then work off of those moms, or do you
Right.
kind of keep going with? Because a lot of people nowadays it's hard to keep. I always consider them almost like grandmas and more than moms because you pretty much make a run, and then it's easier just to top all those ones, make nice, clean, all the same, than it is to try to
Uniformity
grow
is
some
key.
grow some big thing up that's starts to become like giant bonsai looking at a certain point, and then it get tighter and tighter, and it's like harder to get the stretch proper. So 50 per.
No, split between the
Oh,
two.
okay, between the
yeah.
two. Okay, so then it's
Yeah.
like
25 a location.
Yeah.
okay,
about.
that's about right. That's somewhere because 50's getting a little out of control if you're thinking about timing wise.
For sure.
That allows us to keep that variety on the retail side and the
So-
wholesale side.
I mean, see, I'm like, it's tough to get people out of the cycle of it because most people are like, it makes from a flow point of view, it makes sense, but perpetual harvests drive me nuts as far as the ability to kind of maintain your grow, you know what I mean? Because you're always in this sort of like can't really treat it properly because you.
We have
Yeah.
we have separate rooms. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they all.
Smaller separate rooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We do smaller batches.
hmm
So
How many lights approximately per setup?
each room is about like 25 to 35 lights.
Okay, that's good.
And
Perfect. I like
yeah.
that.
And then we do 2 lights per strain. So
Mhm.
we keep everything a lot smaller.
Mhm.
We just really try to dial everything in.
Sure. Because once you get these like 200-300 light rooms, there's really a sweet spot in every single one of them, and it's
Mhm.
like their edges are all shitty, and because you get
Yeah.
like you got like right over here, it's good, whereas
Mhm.
30s is like perfect, like
Yeah.
30s like totally doable, and I mean. You're still kind of doing the same thing though, as far as you having because it is hard when you start doing lots of different strains under one condition,
Mhm.
because like, and in 9 weeks too. I mean, that's also must be limiting as far as
Yeah.
because it's like, I think to get people to appreciate longer flowering stuff, it's like the only way to do it is to people to pay more money, and nobody's willing to do that yet. It's like
Mhm.
so frustrating. It's like, you guys do understand power costs money, right? Like you do understand rent costs money, and time costs money.
I was thinking about
like,
this.
why do people don't get it? It just drives me crazy.
I don't think you're going to see anyone growing a full sativa for the amount of time it takes until the middle of the market truly becomes commoditized and all that noise gets taken out of the industry. And then the Dom Perignons, the Cristals, that you stand out then. You'll see the rate because you're not competing with the entire market. You're going to take out 80% of the market would just cater to the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But that upper 20%, that's where you'll be able to recover.
Yeah, like if you could do a 11-week room, like a 77-day room, you could open up a lot of strains out there that haven't been really tapped into here in Colorado because people they're just not biting the bullet, and you're just like, dude, there's so many good flavors and things and unique. It's kind of like if you could get people to appreciate it by, like, it's like an adult weed, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have adult weed and you have kids, and the kids
Yeah.
all want to smoke fucking fruity bullshit,
Right.
and the adults all want that, like, like
Yeah.
like super. And if they were to, like, spend $100 and get, a quarter that was unbelievable compared to $60 and having to buy 2 of them right at back to back because you don't even get high off of it, then people sort of go, oh, it just starts to make sense. It's just that people are so stuck on, widgets. It's like, oh, all right.
I
guess.
mean, once upon a time, THC percentage was everything. If you had the most THC that you could,
you don't think still?
be able to ship. I mean,
from a sales point of view, though, because it's like,
Mhm.
do you guys sell?
That's what drives.
Do you guys-
I'm trying to drive that educated consumer, and in one way or
Good
another.
luck.
But I don't. However, I don't really. I think they don't exist to the degree they really need to at this point. But it is shifting, in the best way.
I
I
the
feel.
key is just the problem is that Colorado's not baller enough, right? We're just like we don't have unless you're down in Cherry Creek and you got like the right clientele or something. You're pretty much anywhere outside of that kind of zone, and people are like, oh, how much? It's like whereas if you're in LA or you're in New York or whatever, you can always create another shelf above that other top shelf and say,
That S
oh, that's
tier.
the $1,000 an
that's
ounce.
the one.
They'd be,
Yeah.
But here it's like not just it's not conducive to that, and people are just. But at the same time, if you could always, I'd say, take it to the next level and just, grow that like I said, if it grow something longer and then explain the process to people so they go like, oh, okay.
So I would love nothing more. And that's what I have conversations with friends of mine's parents. And they're like, can you make weed less strong? Can you make it like we were used to back in the day? And I feel like it's possible. There is a huge market for that.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
mean,
the risk that you take with having
there you don't need
12-week
longer flowering. There you just need to have good selection on terps that makes so it's not strong but tastes good, because that's usually the problem. Is if it's not so strong, it doesn't taste so great either. You're like, kind of comes with the territory. Like, I want this, but I don't want it to do that.
I have a little trouble believing that weed was not as potent. So, back in the day, I just think you're comparing seeded weed to sensimilla, and you're allowing the plant to, experience its full potential. So I guess at some level it's stronger, but
it's a double edge where people are like, at one point, like if you look at people, how high people used to get back in the day off of weed, like baked, and now it's like you could pretty much occasionally see that, but very rarely. Usually,
it's tolerance.
People just
that's all it is.
And so you get.
But you're on it, 100%.
You get people where they're like, back when I was, we'd be hallucinating off of it. Okay, well that's and it might.
You may be misremembering, first of all.
Definitely, you're in a
Back
different.
in my day,
you're in a different
things
place.
were maybe a bit better.
Plus, the key to it, and this is what I noticed when I lived in Amsterdam, was people would come over there and they'd be like, the weed back home is stronger, and I'm like, no, back home you were paranoid because it was illegal, and that's what made you really high. Whereas you've been in a place that's like, so the first place that people thought they weren't high was in Amsterdam because they're not paranoid. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you put them into a situation where they're like, dude, that guy was just, I think that guy,
there it is.
So,
but to experiencing anxiety less high, I think you're on the money there.
Yeah.
Because if you can be in an environment and a culture that more or less accepts that, same thing for Denver originally, and Colorado, and same thing for all these other states that are following suit. I do think it's a beautiful thing.
But what's also funny is like if you're in a place like Colorado, but not like Oregon. Was like you get off the plane in Oregon and people are pulling bowls out of their pocket before they've ever hit the parking lot. You know what I mean? Whereas you come to Colorado and it's like not so much like that. Like last time I flew into Medford, I think it was, and I was just so happy to see like people immediately pulling out little bowls and smoke. I was like, hey, all right, this is exactly what it used to be. Like here, it's rare. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you don't.
Got their vapes.
Paranoid. People are scared and still. I mean,
because we have zero. I was thinking about this the other day. Where can any tourist smoke?
Oh,
nowhere.
No, in a couple of lounges, right? I mean, technically, there's nowhere for somebody visiting Colorado to ever smoke the weed they bought here legally without breaking the law.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. We have to fix that, Governor Polis. I know you listen to the show. I mean, you called Katie and told her, and she told us.
So you're working on the retail side as far as the different, all the dispensaries, or just one of them, or?
So yeah, we have 2 different retail locations, one off of Colfax, one in Lakewood. So just organizing operations between those 2 locations, and then also between our 2 cultivation, one in Denver. And
do you sell wholesale flower to the market?
We do, yes. We have been having a bit of an uptick on our wholesale side of things, which
could see why.
Yeah,
alleviates the retail side. However, those are competing with each other. So that's just a healthy competition that we want to continue with the quality that we believe that we can continue to bring to the table. We're just getting better at our processes. The quality and the quantity is just coming up and up and up, and that's all a testament to Kris on his side of things. I just hope to, complement that to move as much trade product as we can. So, and we're well on our way.
Well, your process is fantastic, and I can see that breeders might be reaching out to you to say, "Hey, I'd like you guys to have my gear going, in your facility, because it's grown quite well."
And
we grow a lot of Free World's genetics too. Yeah.
Just saying, do you have any original bubblegum going, or Sage and Sour, or MK Ultra?
Yeah, we'd love to. Absolutely.
These could happen.
Haven't seen those coming down the pipeline. We do have a headband. I think that's coming through here soon. I'm interested to see how that.
And you're
how
in
that
sales
comes
and
out.
marketing a little bit?
I am. Yes.
So listen to what you just said. I haven't seen any of those strains that I just mentioned.
I would
That's
lo-
a salesperson's dream.
I would.
What
love
was funny
to.
was at the DGC the other day was that all these people came, like, I guess, there was a moment in time where Sage was just crushing it out here, and so everybody was like, oh, having these all these memories in front of me. It was really funny. Like, dude, remember when that? They were like, remember when that Sage came around? Oh yeah. Like, it was just like, this is funny to watch.
They're reliving the moment,
They were
man.
reliving the
It's like high
moment.
school football.
And then I had, but the whole thing with all, like we were talking about Golden Goat and all the high terpenoline strains, they all have this like love-hate thing where it's like you either love it or you hate it. There's like no in-betweens. There's no like, yeah, kind of, sort of. It's like, no, I hate that or I love.
It's a
this.
fine line.
And so I had guys who were coming over to buy seeds that were like, you got that? Anything with sage? And I'm like, well, yeah, like everything in here. Like, let me show you. And then they're like, yo, this is awesome. Oh, and they were like kid in a candy store. And then another guy would come over and he'd be like, he loved everything except sage, right? And I was like, well, don't look at any of those right there. Like, do not look at that entire
Only the
list
left
right
and the
there.
right.
And he was like, and the guy wanted to buy something so bad, but it was like everything that he wanted was either mixed with something with sage or it was like, ah. So there you go. It's like, it's,
Well, and that's the nostalgia that will always be there.
Did you say to him, well, you should reach out to Seeds Here now,
No.
see what he has in the vault?
well, he was standing right there. So.
Oh, and he didn't try to sell himself?
No, Dave, we're not always like you.
What do you mean? It's his business. That's what he was there for.
No, but he did get a good. It was pretty awesome because I had just packed all the new Freak Show stuff and I put the barcode on the back with that goes to his site, right? So he saw me opening up the thing, sees the barcode, and it was sort of a little bit of like, oh yeah, like typical, like going right back to himself. And then it was like, no, that barcode is going to you, man. Like you are my guy. And so it all made sense, which was perfect. There you go.
So I got to say, the Freak on a Leash
Yeah.
was the most clever marketing thing I ever saw. However,
yeah.
it's too pioneering.
Always, as always. I'm
Too
always 20
pioneering.
I'm
You're
20
going to get
years
shot in
ahead
the...
of its
Yes.
time.
20 years ahead.
Yeah.
Anytime I do something.
In-
But
in
in
about-
20 years, no one will know what a freak on a leash is anyway.
No, but what I'm saying is somebody there who saw
no,
that...
it'll be super nostalgic at that point. It'll be like, hey, remember the old Freak on a Leash? Remember that track?
skip to song 13. They even started it up.
Exactly.
I don't think it's going to be that long. I think it's somebody who saw it there. In 5 years, they're going to figure out a way to make money off of that idea, and then they'll forget they ever knew an Adam Dunn.
It's happened. It's happened. Well, it's okay. You'll just go
Will
to
happen.
Great Moments in Weed History,
That's right.
volume, whatever. By that time, we'll
Hey.
be
You'll have
super-
filmed several.
Oh, you remember that
We
old
have
Freak
an
on a Leash?
interesting chat
Oh,
question.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh, here they go.
Hey, Adam,
Here we are.
what was that cultivar, which I think he's trying to write cultivar. What was that cultivar that went around mid-90s that looked like Christmas trees, smelt like pine? We always caught it, called it the Christmas tree bud.
Yeah, that
What was the real
That
name?
was literally what it was called.
But you don't know the actual name of the...
I mean, it was kind of a during a time. I was living in Holland at the time, but that is like the stuff of legends that we all called a Christmas tree bud. That's all everybody used
That's
to call
funny.
it. Because everybody would come around Christmas.
Even me and my
like,
friends have a Christmas tree bud. Because it was just there's this bud that smelled like Christmas trees, and like my buddy would like freeze it and shit
Yeah,
because
no,
it was
that,
so good.
That is kind. I mean, Vinny knows what's up. He's
You're talking about the cough, man. That's the cough.
well, there you go.
That is the Colorado cough, and it's JJ. If you're listening, not different JJ, not JJ's Top Dog, but you promised years ago when I sat. You said, "Holy shit, you're sitting next to Adam Dunn talking." He goes, "I wonder what it would be like if we got him some of the cough." And I'm talking about it on the show for 6.5 years, and you text me once every like 14 months saying, okay, it's ready, I'm going to send it. And then nothing ever fucking happens. But that's the cough. It's like a divergent plant. It's a terpene that nobody fucking has in any of their gear now.
It's just a good pinene-based plant, which is like.
Odie says you're wrong.
Yeah.
He's well. You know what?
Odie.
I agree with Odie.
I agree with Odie.
Yeah.
Too. Whatever Odie said.
Yeah, I agree with Odie.
What that the California, that the Colorado coffee is that piney stuff? I don't.
It is, but it might not be the Christmas tree bud you're talking
See,
about.
Dave's trying to throw us all off. Of
You
course
like how
again.
that
That's funny.
misdirect?
I had a Christmas special in Alabama.
Did you?
It was probably a similar
it's-
situation. It only came around Christmas time,
And it smelled like Christmas.
and it smelled. Yep.
Yeah, no, that is it. That's
It's a
and
super
that,
regional
especially
thing.
Alabama too, because it's like it's all it's East Coast. It's an East Coast thing, and it
Yep.
seemed like everybody in those regions, Tennessee and all the places, were all.
If it made its way to Atlanta, usually made its way down to the Gulf Coast as well.
It's like that chocolate tie from '90,
Yeah.
summer '90. It comes around. That
It's
except
like
it didn't come around
87
again.
or something.
Yo, this the lemon mellow is really good.
Yeah, and again,
Exactly
it's
like you said, it tastes exactly like a
right.
Yeah.
All right,
That's really good. That's cool.
that's really that is something. It really is
Well,
something.
that's kind of the goal for most people is to try to, if you're going to grow something, if it has a good terp profile, then you hope that the taste balance is close enough to that.
No, I'm saying from a breeder's perspective, aren't you at least bit intrigued, like what would it be like if they were growing your gear from seed, not from a
yeah.
clone?
Well, there,
know?
as many people growing seeds. That's what I realized at the DGC Cup the other day where I was there, and it was just like every time I'm at a trade show and people come up and they're like, you gotta feminize. I'm just like, dude, I'm just here to have people learn how to grow, and the last thing I want to do is give them a bunch of feminized seeds because they ain't learning shit. You know what I mean? They're learning how to just be like, okay, what else you got? And it's like, no, I want
Feminized autos.
like I had a guy brought me a guy from he's Oklahoma, I believe. Yeah, he's from Oklahoma. He was at the Cowboy Cup. He bought some seeds from us there. And he listened to exactly what I was trying to tell people. It's like, look, I'm giving you, when you buy the tape, it's got 3 packs in it. They're all regular. If you see a good male, fucking cross it with it, especially if it's like different thing, instead of just trying to trying to go inwards and fuck it up, because you probably will. But if you have 2 different strains, you're completely on, you go for it. And he came back and it was a Zeta Sage times 82 Skunk and it was funny because that's what Brett from Heart and Soil also took a male from that, crossed it with a bunch of that one particular cross is now for some reason everyone keeps gravitating towards the males from that pack and creating way fucking more like, holy shit, there's a lot of Zeta Sage times 82 Skunk, which is
Strong like bull. Adam.
no, and it is. It was very
Strong like bull.
It was very, very fucking. Well, the bud was like one of those deals where he like rips it off, and it was still kind of. It had soaked up, who knows from where, but so I had to like leave it out. But once it dried, it was fucking good. It was just trimmed terrible, and it was it had a few problems, but it was good.
I just think whatever you guys are doing, keep doing it. This is I'm really enjoying this. It's been a while, since multiple.
Thank you.
I'm not pulling out of one bag and saying it was the other 4 bags.
Try to get y'all some variety here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we wanted you guys to get a good flavor notes about everything.
And tell me, how did you ever hear about this show, or Adam?
Well, I've been watching it for a long time. Yeah.
You said Dread. That's all you have to do is say Dread.
Yeah.
That's fucking John Doe radio times. Like that's how Dread got here in the first place, which was listening to Mr. Martin on the fucking airwaves talking about Colorado. And when I met Dread, which was awesome, was at the 2009 or it's like when I first came, and I think it was 2009 at the CannaCon and it was like that's when Colorado was like literally
Just starting.
going into like like straight up like where it was like, oh shit, everything is possible because nobody had actually
Stratosphere.
figured out everything. You know what I mean? It was still
Right.
kind of loose. Which, again, if you could just take a time machine, be like, no, dude, I would have worked the system so much harder. I was just all trying to be all like, I'll step real lightly and just I'll do everything like the way you're supposed to because it's the only way that was. But there was really not. Yeah, it hadn't quite solidified yet. So, but now Dread definitely came and got the most out of Colorado when it was at its peak.
Yep, I think that's very fair to say. Yeah.
And then So, what strain is it? What strains did you bring your own stuff into the facility, or
Oh,
you just
nope.
working with what they have?
Yep. DJ did a lot of that work over the last decade or so. Like he did a great job just doing all of his breeding and selections and just great flavors. Like he's got a good nose, you know.
Also, and he did all breeding in the facility, which is it like that, or he did somewhere else and brought it in, or do you know?
Oh no, yeah, he did all this himself.
Because
And then
that's one of the hard parts of like running a continuous operation is like to devote even just a little bit of space for breeding is super sketchy. You know what I mean? Because like you could fuck the whole program up pretty fast.
You get no return. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're not that, and you're just like working with fucking pollen in a building that's like
he kept
sealed.
them separate for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've always done in past breeding programs
This is
as
our new
well,
one.
being able to separate
So
that.
what-
That's
that
our new
pollen
one. This is
sources
cherry breath.
as best you can.
So tell me about are you making any concentrates from you brought concentrates from these other labs. What about concentrates from your flower?
So this concentrate from TS Lab and CoCure are using our flower, but we do not process our own in-house. We partner with these vendors to be able to have this partnership.
Got it. So you can go to TS Labs and you can buy a concentrate made from these strains.
Correct. So yeah, we're able to give them X amount of material and then have a relationship long term to be able to forecast that, you know,
Just because
that output and that
I
strategy.
can't read anything here.
Sure, no, that's fair.
Oh, somebody join us?
So we are working on label collaborations with them at this point in time.
Are any of these concentrates here this flower?
Yes, I believe they all.
Yeah, it's all
are
our flower.
Okay, sweet.
Our flower. Yes.
So who just joined us via Zoom? A little turd. It looks like a piece of hash.
An out of focus.
An out of focus hash.
It just says
The
iPhone.
bubble.
Ah,
Bubble.
Alberto
Nice.
The
Is the-
bubble.
from Barcelona. Barcelona.
Barcelona.
There, much better. Much better. No, go out, back out a little
There
bit.
it is. Coming. Bring me the Bible.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, is the bubble.
ooh, the bubble.
There we go. How's it going out there, my friend?
All good here.
Yeah.
Getting warm.
What, you walking around naked in your office? What's going on here? What is going on?
Yeah,
here?
you're gonna get us kicked off of YouTube.
Jesus.
Don't.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Alberto's OnlyFans page. He's got his OnlyFans thing
Shameless
on one
plug.
side.
Shameless plug.
Yeah, is that from some local product?
Local here. Everything we do. Wait a sec. I show you something more. More bubbles.
Okay, more bubble. Okay, no penis. All right.
Oh no, don't worry.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh. Really? If somebody is out
Wow,
there,
you're rich, dude. You got like 4 euros.
yeah. Can you? Oh, and a $20
dollars.
bill.
Whoa, what's going on?
$20.
International.
Can you invent smell-o-vision? Is there any way to do
Yeah,
that?
you gotta ask
look at that.
to Meta. Meta
Oh
will be
yeah,
with
AI is working on it for us right now. Wow. There it is. It says Alberto, show me the bubble. That's how he comes up
Now
in
light
my
it up.
phone.
Let's see some bubble. See some bubble.
Yeah, let's see it bubble. Just decided to zoom in out of the blue, huh? No reason.
I put it out there. I said, come on, come on.
Yeah,
You got
it's complicated. I just download the application and I am not really an expert
Zoom.
about.
Got it.
I'm the dollar.
If in case you guys didn't know what a euro looks like, just pay attention right there.
I was going over there. Happy birthday.
Hey, it's coming up Sunday. Sunday.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
too
but we
early.
won't be on
I
the
will
air
send
All
you a
right.
Sunday.
message.
No, today's sort of birthday. It's my birthday-ish. It's so normally Westerpark, I'd be getting ready to make it happen. So, but now we have a barbecue here 24/7.
Wow, amazing.
It's the greatest moment of my life.
I got some dry sift bottle, here for you.
Ah, wait. I have something more. Something that is on the hype. He's on the hyping. Wait a sec.
So Alberto would have
Wait,
been the first guest on my podcast if I had one back in the day, because I used to sit down in my office and just talk to people for hours anyway. So it was kind of like could have been a podcast each time, and he would always come down and bring me like a 6-pack of Corona or something, and we would just end up, and then they would start. He'd be like the first guy coming in, and the next person would roll in. It was terrible. Like I was like
You were the reason you became an alcoholic was
Yeah.
because of like that.
Alberto.
Who was that?
Yeah, Alberto.
That
bought
general with
many-
the cigars.
Many Coronas. Yeah, exactly.
They saw him with a photo of a cigar, and everybody just started sending him cigars, and you know that was it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh,
That's
look
the
at
problem
that.
here.
Fuck.
Oh wow.
Nice.
What we got here?
We have blurry hash.
We got
That's the
some
Moroccan?
static.
Oh, nice. Some static.
Oh, wow.
I got some static.
Static. Only hats.
This is static right here too in my hand. You can barely see it, but
Wow.
Look, from this brand.
It's a nice little cylinder.
The blurry.
the blurry kids, the blurry guys.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on.
hash burger.
Static. Oh, Static Room. I know those guys.
Nice.
I've seen them. They have the hand. They have the hand logo too, right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. The hand logo.
Exactly.
Damn, you have access
it's
to
okay.
better
You know,
American
it's-
hash than we do here.
No, it's not from here. It's from
Yeah.
there. Static Room's from. Dude, you are like one step behind on everything today.
You know what?
Yeah, on the
Hash?
static, you need some
It's all-
amount to arrive to have a.
The thing about in Barcelona is it's all the Italians that make all the best hash, right, Alberto?
Yeah, mostly of people are.
It was the same in Amsterdam.
Things
All the
are
best
changing
growers were
because
from
a lot
America
of also
that live there.
French people and also Spanish people, of course,
yeah.
they are getting
100%.
more into the
Foul.
water ash, the fresh frozen,
Yeah.
and
Well,
is-
it's like whenever you're traveling around and you run into a group of Italians that have a chillum in their hand, and they all are just like they're higher than anybody around them for sure. They're like the biggest smokers in Europe, I think, almost. Some of the biggest smokers.
Well, they start smoking tobacco when they're 6.
We lose him? Is he gone?
He might be gone.
He may be
He
gone.
may be gone.
Just wanted to show you the bobble.
The Bible.
The Bob.
Yeah, it's very addictive too. Once you start saying Bible, you can't stop saying it.
No, I'm
It's like,
serious. That's how he's in my phone. It's Alberto, show me the bubble.
Show me the Bible. And he would literally come in every day to my shop, and that's all he wanted to do. He was just like focused hash lover, and now he has his own shop.
Man that knows
Sweet.
what he wants.
A couple shops now in Barcelona.
Respect
So
that.
Sweet. Hashman.
it's awesome to see that develop over the years, because we used to have a lot of people come through and they'd be buying seeds, and then I wouldn't see them for until I came back to America. Then when roll, be like, hell, you came downstairs and I showed you your first bubble hash, you know what I mean? And then now they own a whole lab or whatever, which is
Yeah.
great. So
Yeah.
the transition's awesome. Are you doing any hash making or just kind of growing?
Nope, I don't. Yep, not currently.
In-house, you guys are just you aren't doing any kind of bubble hash, just because that's you can do without any kind of
I do it for fun,
yeah.
but
That doesn't make sense.
you should get osprey. You need an osprey. You need to basically.
Oh, I've seen. They
Go-
are beautiful. I have a manufacturing background, so mainly on the gummy side of things, but just general formulation across the board.
then you should definitely set up a little, even if it's just R&D, because the first thing you learn when you're making hash is that is like, if you're going to go through all that work and you love hash, you realize really quickly like you can't grow enough weed to supply yourself. So you're like, all of a sudden you're like, all right, now you got to find other people, and then everybody it's tough when you're with a group of people that everyone loves the top 3% of the product that you're running through, because that is what it ends up being. And if you're growing a pound, you're talking like a couple ounces coming out of that, if you're lucky, you know what I mean? So it's very, very quickly you learn that you either have to do it all yourself, like do the growing and the heart, do it all, because it's like, how many times have people seen, like, I see the light bulb click when they're like, making hash because they realize like they're in control. You know, you hand them a bag, so you guys hand them like, here's 100 pounds, and then they give you back whatever percentage they say is what kind of thing. Is so much can go wrong, and so much can be shuffled around that it drives me nuts because it's like one of those you almost have to do runs yourself, get your numbers sort of locked in, be like, okay, so how are you getting that? And we're getting this, and we're not even doing this 24 hours a day. We're actually doing this as a hobby on the side just to see, because you can really catch people out pretty fast. Ah, there he is. Look at that old blast.
What do you know about quantum physics and shit like that?
Oh.
Oh, this is an old one, huh?
Yeah. And I saw.
I couldn't put the hood lamp. It's too hot.
No, it's a little bit hot. Look at that, Mo. See that? Remember that? Remember that campaign?
Who's that? Oh, look at that. Oh, who sent him the link?
Oh my gosh, who was it? I was thinking of going out and come on my show, but then I thought, you know what? I'll leave it up to Dave because Dave would probably check all the right people.
How you doing?
Birthday, bro.
What's going on?
Happy birthday, man.
How you doing?
I'm good. You just, once again, you're older than me.
I know. Still ahead. 6 months
Still
ahead.
ahead.
Still ahead.
No, it's just the gray, though. You know, that's and just the general, you know.
No,
lack
we're
of
both
food for
we're
him.
both doing about the same. We're having.
Yeah, we're 6 months apart, almost exactly.
Are you not out protesting? I figured you'd be out there protesting.
It's tomorrow.
Dude, my protests are internal. And, you know,
Definitely.
it's too weird, dude. I don't even know where, you know. And also, I live on like the other side of the hill, which is like Arizona compared to LA. So it's like it's out here. It's freaking middle class suburbs, and like a protest would be like the local schools don't have clean enough parking spaces or something like that, you know.
Oh, I know all about that.
Yes. So, happy Father's Day coming up on Sunday too, on my birthday. How's that?
I know, dude. Double whammy.
How's
That's
that
awesome.
for a deal?
Father's Day is Sunday.
dude.
Your birthday is
It's
the
Sunday.
I thought it's the 16th.
No, it's the 15th.
15th.
Dude, I don't know if you're gonna get anything right today. You haven't got a single. You don't got a single
Dude,
thing
you know
right.
my brain. You would know where my brain was for the past few months.
I
It
don't
just
even-
this morning. It's just now. It's I'm good.
No, what's cool is that I was born on a Sunday on Father's Day, on
Nice.
the actual day. So it's like this is one of those every 12 years or something. I don't know what the fucking ratio is, but very rarely. So I was like, oh, this is a real one. This is one of those real birthdays.
Jupiter's aligned with Mars.
With
Peace will guide the
with
planet.
With Uranus, I'm sure.
And love.
my foot.
This is
lined
the
up with
only-
Uranus.
Oh, Mo, that was a bad visual right there, man. You went right up to the elbow.
This is the only Friday 13th of the year.
Is it?
Really, Vinny?
Really?
Wow.
Yes, it is.
That's-
Positive.
Really? You double checked and everything.
You asked Grok?
Did you check? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The Bible. Look at the Bible hash.
Why is the American $20 bill near the bubble hash? What's the significance?
Yeah, you know.
Snorting bubble hash. Are you snorting bubble
didn't
hash
look
again,
rolled up.
Alberto? Come on now.
No, that was the first thing
you
I
know,
looked for.
I start to collecting dollars. Never know. You know.
Yeah, dollars are not.
You want to get rid of the dollar
I don't think
right
you
now.
want them now. that was years ago.
Never know. It will go up again.
That was like Levi's and
No, you
when
want
people. That was when
rubles.
people were bringing Levi's and shit to Europe. You got these.
I remember that.
501s,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
When I first moved there, that was still a thing. People were still going to the Albert Kai or to the Waterloo line and selling American jeans at like exorbitant prices. I was like, what the hell? That is a real thing? Like,
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Because we lived there during the whole NAFTA and WTO happened in that period. And like, it was, remember like how hard it was to get, how expensive 9-volt batteries were in Holland? It was like,
little things were ridiculous. It was
like just little things where it's like, oh, it's not a global trade. And I remember getting a package from a friend who worked for a record company, and she sent me all these really cool CDs, and she didn't list it as a gift. And it showed up at the door, and the guy's like, yeah, you owe me like $150 for these CDs. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, tariff, bro. We hit that shit. You know, it was hard to get things in Holland. It was like, Serial Killer Sunday, right, Adam? I mean, those
yeah.
you had to work really hard to get those boxes of cereal.
I had to have Andy smuggle them in. Basically, Andy was bringing them in by the duffel bag full because on his way out, I said, "Hey man, I'll trade you seeds for cereal," right? Because I knew that. I was like, "Really? I'll do it. Yeah, man, you bring me, I'll fucking hook you up." And they were like, they came in with like first they came in with like a couple boxes, and then I was like, "Oh sure," and I just like
He's probably still
like,
got
"You're
those.
gonna give me a
It's true,
couple
though.
packs for that?" Like, yeah, a pack for a box, sure, no problem. You know what I mean? It's like, and then they were like coming in with ridiculous amounts.
So
and
Andy,
I couldn't keep up at a certain.
Add to the list, cereal smuggler.
Oh no, he knows. That's his number one. That's his
That's
top,
the biggest
top of the
crime
resume
actor
right there.
Oh, I'm thinking now it's like.
But that's when I didn't understand that it was all bad. But actually, that was probably when it wasn't nearly as bad as it is now. Like that's when the still had a lot of ingredients, but not they hadn't invented half of the ones that are in them now. But
what do you mean?
Well, probably in Europe, probably the American cereal's got like a premium because it's like got illegal ingredients in it. Like a lot of, like Skittles in the US, like the Skittles. The Skittles in Germany are like safe and they use like dyes that are known not to kill kids and stuff. But our Skittles have the hardcore shit. So if you really want to taste the rainbow,
oh my
you gotta
God. Speaking of which, you want to talk about just like debauchery. I look over at Tops, right, the other day at the show, at the very end of the show. He's standing there with a gigantic, like about this big, and that right with a nozzle on it, right? Some fucking nitrous, Skittles flavored nitrous, right?
What?
He's standing there, and I'm like, "Are you doing flavored nitrous?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm just like, "No, dude, don't do it. Like that is the worst combination I can imagine. Just like." Let's take a fucking thing. We're going to throw some extra, like, let's put, I mean, people complain about nitrous being bad, and nitrous is bad enough as it is. But once you throw it's the flavor. I was like, dude, the nitrous is nothing compared to those flavors. And they're in your lungs. Like, are you kidding me? Like, just like straight up, not even, I'd rather.
To be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
Nitrous is described, I believe, in the medical community as an asphyxiatory gas.
Sure.
And now you're going to add flavor to it.
And he's like,
so you constrain your brain.
It was too much.
Great combination.
I couldn't believe
And
it.
and because it can't be sold for inhaling, they can do that, right? Because if they said for 1 second that people are actually going to inhale this, there's no way in hell that would be passable. But head shops are now, I mean, I worked in head shops. I managed 2 head shops in LA in 1999 and 2000. And we had a lot of weird stuff on the shelf, but it wasn't like it is today. Today, they got everything, and there's no one regulating it. There's no one checking on it.
Yeah.
Because it's the better version than the fentanyl around the corner, right? So it's like no one can talk shit. Hey, Ed, just in time. Just in time for fentanyl.
Oh, Ed can
yeah,
talk
you said
shit.
fentanyl, and there was Ed right
There
away. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Don't before Ed gets on, I will tell you, he smuggled a pound of fentanyl in his prison wallet when he was, where did he go? India, right?
Yeah.
We all thought it was this seed thing, but no, it was to get the Fenty
Dave's
into
a party
India.
guy.
Wow, Dave.
Rectally.
How to wreck the
I highly
have a bite,
recommend I highly recommend fentanyl for cabinet officers of the Trump administration.
Oh, hey.
Jeez.
No politics
What are we
today.
eating?
It's
What are we
Adam's
eating
personal-
today, Ed? What do we got?
Yeah, what are we eating with a fork? It looks like ice cream with a fork.
Wow, breaking all
That's the best way to eat it.
It is ice cream with a fork?
Yeah, the
Is that
spoon
some
gets in
mint?
the
Is that
way.
mint or pistachio? What are we doing here?
Pistachio, of
Oh,
course.
of course, Cali guy. Of course, he's gonna have
I
pistachio.
think it just matters at what state of meltiness the ice cream is too, because
Oh, it's
been-
just right.
Yeah, you,
It's just right.
Ed.
Melt in your mouth.
How many times you been on the show? Ed, how
What?
many times you think you've been on the show?
More than 3.
And in all those times, what do you force me to say to you when you first get on?
Hi.
Turn your phone sideways.
there we go. Then we can see all your pistachios at the same time.
Well, we would have known it was pistachio ice cream because we would have seen it, and it wouldn't have looked like a little dot like the recommended dose of concentrate here in Colorado.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Kind of clear.
Do you see the bubble hash up above
got
you,
some
Ed?
bubble in Barcelona. Barcelona
Yeah.
bubble.
It's more green, the pistachio here in Barcelona.
More green than that? That's like kind of artificially
Just more green.
Really?
Yeah.
More green.
More
Well,
green.
thank you for taking 5 minutes to join us, Ed.
Well, I just have to show you, this is not stuff of it, but look at the color of this. Wait, where is it? Look,
Yeah, I think you're holding it to the microphone and not to the camera. There we go.
look at the color of this.
Oh, it's Adam's
wow.
favorite.
That is purple.
Very purple.
Yeah, it's almost black. I'm not discriminatory, but I've been destroying this. Yeah.
I know you were trying to make a joke there.
Dun-dun-dun.
See right there.
What strain is it, do you know?
It was nicknamed Black Cherry, so, but I don't know the actual name. I think the grower just gave it a name.
As long as it's not Oreos, then you'll be okay.
I'm seeing Oreos on people's lists. Like when they say what they have, they've got an Oreo cross, and I'm wondering, is there a cross out there that is actually worth trying? Because everything that we've ever had here on the show, it looked fantastic.
Cardboreos.
And then it wasn't anything like your weed.
I
have no idea.
It's unbelievable growing plant, so it's one of those ones that if you look at it visually, you're like, wow, what's that? But then it never lives up to the hype on there's no flavor.
Then why are people selling, concentrates? And is it real? Are they putting the name on it?
Okay, we made some concentrates from it, and it was a little bit like a notch better than maybe cardboard. It was like cardboard plus, or something. Like it was
just
like,
look at Mark's face, and if you were the customer there and you're trying to explain it to him, and you're like, look, it's a notch up from cardboard. You're gonna fucking love it.
It was one notch up. It was
one notch up. In fact, next level, it's the glue from the inside of an envelope.
It's like
that's the next
It's
flavor.
like a toilet roll steamroller or something. You know what I mean? Like kind of.
It's a donor plant. That's why. It's
donor plant. Yeah, structure.
It's a donor plant. It works really good as a donor plant for FIMS, and it's like no one wants anything other than that. So like you have to take all the bad with a little bit of good. It's a weird back to that whole FEM. Did you guys see the thing on the FEMS, the McKiernan paper on the genetic diversity loss by not using a male?
I mean, we did. Of course we did. But let's just pretend for this conversation we didn't, and you tell us about it.
Definitely read every word of it.
Okay. Yeah. Don't worry, Dave. I'm highly dyslexic. I don't really read well either. It really pointed out that a significant portion of genes. Now, what that means, whether those genes are active doing what, that's a whole other discussion. But a significant amount of genes are left off the table when you only use females, because there's a significant amount of genes that are only contributed by the male, like we all kind of thought and figured. And that's why a lot of us, I've never made FIMS just because it always felt weird, just strange, but also that there's this whole variable that when you use a male, because you don't know what the male brings to the table for a female offspring. But now you could say, well, what it does bring to the table is it brings in a whole set of genes that the female doesn't. So now there's a whole bunch
we could probably ask.
That would only those genes would only be on the Y chromosome. But if it's the X chromosome, then you wouldn't have any change. But the genes that a male brings would only affect a male. It won't affect a female.
I don't know. I can't say that 100% because there's all kinds of different genes that are turned on and turned off that have nothing to do with sex. But
there aren't that many genes on the Y chromosome.
Well, I'll let you be the expert, Ed. But
way to be a downer, Ed.
In fact, there aren't many genes on the Y chromosome.
There you go.
And if the Y chromosome, if the Y chromosome isn't passed on, then they're just getting two X's anyway.
Because
Yeah.
Look at it.
Take that, Ed.
Look at it.
Take that. What do you got? Show us that purple little thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Hold on.
And why are you wearing a bucket hat in the house?
Look at that.
Wow.
That's sexy. Isn't that sexy weed? Look at that.
Oh, I just came in from outside.
That is pretty dope.
Well, then,
Yeah, that's-
Mo, you need to send Ed that paper so that he could go argue with the authors of the paper.
No, there's no. I'm not making any claims, and nor is the author. The main thing is just that there is variability that is inherited when you don't. That you lose when you just use females. That's all the paper is highlighting. Not saying what those are. That's the whole point. I mean, there's all kinds of traits that don't have any, not necessarily aren't even turned on or don't have a purpose or a function or doesn't make weed better or worse. Not saying anything about that to all the people who use stems. It's not making any major claims. It's just looking at what the outcome of those two processes. So it's a trip. Anyway, this flower I wanted to show you guys, it's from Jim Goodwin from Mel Frank, and it's a Cambodian, and it has these weird variegated and mosaic patterns, and it grows leaves that are white, and it grows bracts that are completely white and completely purple and completely green.
That's so cool.
This is stuff he's growing now.
No, this is seed that he gave me years ago that I selected a female with the guys at Hayes Valley in Watsonville a couple of years ago, a really nice Cambodian female, beautiful plant. And then it mutated and a sport shot out. As you know, you see lots of variegated or like half yellow, half white stem plants, but it's usually just one leaf. And it's usually not like a full stem that expresses both sides. But this was like a full branch that came off that had the full expression. So I was able to clone it and keep moms. And now I have these moms that are all mosaicked and funky looking.
Do you still have that pulled up? You can pull it up again. I have a close-up on you now.
Yeah. So that's just a bud. You can see, and you can see the leaf, all the different varieties of mosaic and variegated.
Weird.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the weird thing is that when it first happened, for this one you can kind of see the bracts.
Hey, just watch your credit card number in the back there.
Nick just stole all your shit. He just got all.
You got
we
the first
sucked all
three
his
of the
stuff off.
first. That's excellent.
My pin code. It says my pin
look
code
like
right next to
look
it.
like out of flowering almost structure.
Yeah. And the trippy thing is that when it first happened, there was every degree of chlorophyll variation, right? So you had some plants, some branches that were just completely white and free of chlorophyll, but they rotted in cloning because there's no chlorophyll. So there's no growth. There's no driver for growth. So, but then the ones that had, more of the bleaching, it was kind of like at that moment when I made the clone, you selected the trait for the moms for the future, right? And I think that's what happens with a lot of like variegated plants, like house plants, is where like, depending on the mom, it dictates the degree of chlorophyll, right? So it can kind of go back. And now that I'm flowering some plants out indoors for the first time, some of them have kind of grown back to green in the flowering process. So it's kind of hit and miss.
I think with chem and stuff like the strains that always have the variegation in them, you can see them go through these kind of ebb and flows of the amount of variegation, because sometimes they'll be super stressed and the whole leaf will be all speckled all the way top to bottom, and then other times that same plant will kind of ease off a little bit, where I think if you just it can be environmental, I think, too.
I think light intensity has a lot to do with it.
Well, light intensity,
whether it's expressed.
That's where the mutation occurred. But once that mutation occurred, it was done. It's just like Pinot Noir and Pinot Grigio.
But it's like think of a coleus. Depending on the light intensity, it has a potential to do certain things, but it needs light intensity to do it.
And the light, Ed, you're exactly right, because the light intensity drives calcium and chlorophyll into the leaves when it does. If it's not there, so I have some plants that I stuck in the house with all my other variegated house plants just to trick my family to see if they would notice it, and they never did. And that one expresses more of the trait because of the low light intensity, and the ones that are getting blasted with indoor LEDs are going greener. But the cool thing is I kept moms of the green one and I kept moms of the mosaic one. And 3 generations down, the green one's still green and the mosaic one's still mosaic. Because it was a mutation. It was environmental that caused a mutation, but the mutation was permanent. It's genetic at this point. And it's a cool plant.
You know, that happens to apples sometimes, where there's one branch that's a sport, and then a whole variety is developed from that.
Yep. Well, Pinot Grigio, Pinot Blanc, all the white Pinots are all just sports from the red Pinot. They're genetically just Pinot Noir. But once the sport happens, if you're lucky, and that's the thing, is like we've all seen this hundreds of times, it's just about whether or not you want to take a clone off of the fucked up branch that's growing weird. And this time I was just like, fuck it, it's a special plant. I really like the smoke. And the original one was like a 2-to-1 CBD to THC, which I never would normally like, but it's super low myrcene. So it's very equatorial in its aroma profile. So it's not like your typical 2-to-1. It's very different. It's fun. It's a good plant.
But what about if you micropropagate this genetic? You think you will be back to some before the mutation?
Well, it could, because depending on how you micropropagate, if you use a lot of hormones and stuff like that, you have more chance of somoclonal variation at that point. So yeah, you could tweak it. But the real thing that I could have done, which were where I fucked up, is if I had put into TC those yellow white plants, those could have rooted in TC, but they couldn't have rooted in the propagator. So like I could have had all degrees of green, part green, all the way to like almost completely white. Like the white ones were like a white leaf with speckles of green dabbled on it. Super trippy. I didn't take pictures though, but anyway.
I don't speak English. I speak Turpanese.
How do you not take pictures of that?
Well, because I did, but they didn't. These pictures I took with an actual camera, but the ones when the event was happening, it was like, oh shit.
The event Horizon was happening in your room?
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Time and space is coming together. What am I going to do?
I know. It's all fucked up. But it's good weed, and it came from Jim, and it actually, I liked the weed before it mutated. So it was a good...
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, does Alberto's question, is there anything to discuss? Can you go back? Can it...
But then, but do you want to? He wants to keep it like it is, so you don't want to go past that point.
Well, I have the original version already, so there's no need to. But the reality is the all green one grows chunkier, bigger, faster by far, because the lack of
sometimes
has an impact. But it tastes different.
The things of the bigger propagation. I mean, you keeping cutting your mothers and making probably soon another mother from that mother, and that losing.
I was gonna say, yeah, you might
in somehow, in some small things, in something, probably in the rooting, probably in the vigor, probably in the production, probably micropropagating bring back all that solution at the back, at the starting. I wasn't
thinking about it. It could be viral.
Oh, hey, whoa, Ed, come on, we don't talk about. You gotta get permission.
Get a Q-tip, and
you're supposed to ask first.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. There's some of the fully more white stuff. Yeah. It could have been viral that caused it to begin with, because that is something that they've also done with house plants. You can infect plants in order to get that mutation.
You know about the tulips in the 17th and 18th century, and. They had.
That's what Mo's doing right now. He's catching a wave right before they fucking lose it.
They call them
$10,000.
The old Darwin tulips, which had speckles, and then it turned out to be viral.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they based their entire existence on it, which was a really good move. Nice. So it's really interesting when you realize that it's Dutch people going nuts for money right there, just freaking out like, oh my God, we can make so much money. And then, it's the Bitcoin of its time.
Oh, look at that. We hit
We hit
a wall
We
there
hit a
for a
wall.
second.
Everybody.
Hey, I'm sorry. You know, I was laughing earlier because I'm looking at the hash there, and I'm hearing Alberto talk in the background, and I know he's using words, but all I hear is bobble, 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 bobble.
I'm sorry.
I know you did. It's just me. Your words were enunciated quite perfectly, actually, but that hash, I can't. I just. Ed, will you invent smell-o-vision?
Yeah.
No, totally lost.
You know, only if the technicians in India can help with it.
Is that it? You're leaving?
They can
you're
pretend.
Going?
They can do like they did with their fake
yeah.
AI thing they did the other day. They can just be like, "Oh, I smell it. It's very good smell. I'm smelling it now. It's smelling very nice." But you heard about that, right? They did the whole AI thing, and it was all just a bunch of Indians. Like they pretended it was all up in the fucking cloud somewhere, but it was just a group of people in India just banging away on keyboards like, "Yep, this is all AI.
Oh,
This
I
is
didn't know
AI
I
is
did not hear
driving."
that.
Yeah, it was a huge scandal. Another
Scandal.
Scandal.
Yeah,
Just another
they have these new IT cities in India now. It's like you wouldn't know. You'd think you were in Dubai or something, where the whole city is just these high rises, and you know, it's a whole new group of people that are occupying them, and the companies in the city and the college campuses. Yeah, it's like two different Indias.
When's the return trip for you?
October 10th.
Oh shit! Coming up, it'll be
Well,
coming
it's
up
just
fast.
around the corner.
It will be.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you weren't there the other day, heading to Gatwick.
Yeah.
That's the only. I don't hear any news.
I have to admit that Indian Airways has the best lay down seats. They're really comfortable.
Are
they?
Ow.
First class. Oh, there he is. Now I see him. It's not just the hash anymore.
You can do it in business class.
He put pants on. Of course, but nothing less for Ed Rosenthal than business class. I mean, of course, that's how Mo travels too. Business class or better.
Be careful with the Indian airline.
No, they do have a really good record. They're going to find out what went wrong.
You're talking about the domestics. There are some domestic airlines there that are really shaky, but the international, I think that they're pretty good.
All right. Very, very good.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you got anything else you want to wish Adam? You gonna tell him anything? Make some room.
Adam's belly and make a wish.
We have a full waiting room of famous people.
Oh
who
yeah, they're
wanna
all lining up.
Wish
right now.
Adam.
They're
it was
lining
just
up.
you three first because come on, it's. Just
So, Adam, have a happy birthday.
Thank you, Ed. I will.
And enjoy.
It's going to be a busy month. I've got.
And enjoy the contribution that you're making to society, which is pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm
And
trying.
I,
I'm trying.
And I still have one of your coats.
Nice. They will go down in history for sure.
Check the pockets.
They'll be digging those up in the mummy tombs of the future. That coat is indestructible.
I bet you should check the pockets because you probably forgot something in there, Ed.
That's the bonus of the secret pocket. Occasionally, something slips in there.
Yeah, well, I don't get to use it that much in this climate here. So.
No, we only need one of you to drop off. And then
All
we
the
got a
Cali
third
people, when
coming
they
in.
have those jackets, they last for 20, 30, 40, probably 50 years because people use them once a year, maybe, or something,
Right. Oh, I'm going to New York. I think I'll use this,
But nowadays, it's like rough because you have to pack a whole other bag just for it because it's fucking huge. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
damn.
it is massive coat. You have to. You can't pack a bag. You have to be wearing it.
You walk it onto the plane, and
Yeah.
then you take it off and put it up above.
Right.
No, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hey, man.
Thanks, Ed.
You see, look at the innovation that you've caused.
Right.
Right?
Yeah,
And
he invented putting a shower cap over a smoke detector.
Nobody. No, definitely not me. Definitely not. Capitalized on it for sure. Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Hey, Ed,
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, bye.
And then when's Mo coming out to Colorado one time? We need to get.
Dude, I've got so much shit to do next week, but I actually really wanted to just pop in my vehicle and take off. But unfortunately, I bought an American vehicle for the first time in many years, so I have a coolant leak.
Oh, classic. Squeaky belts and coolant leaks. That's
fucking America. Anyway, no.
That was funny.
I am soon, dude. I am for sure. I'm coming out.
Oh, for sure.
In Amsterdam, I remember back in the day, if I heard like a squeaky belt on a car, I didn't even have to turn. I'd just be like, there's an American car within like 100 feet of me. I turn around and it'd be like this one Riviera or something. You never hear that with any European car ever, like in the history of cars. I don't think they've ever made a squeak. Whereas American cars, like, doesn't matter what it is, you oversteer that bitch and it's fucking do. So yeah.
I know. I traded in my Toyota Tacoma that I had for 17 years. It had 250,000 miles and it never had a single problem. Ever. I mean, like nothing. Like,
wait, you traded in
a Toyota Tacoma.
A Tacoma for anything American made?
Wow.
Well,
what were you thinking?
I was thinking I needed a car because my Toyota was 250,000 miles on it.
That's just a baby.
Oh, just starting.
That's just a baby Toyota. Are you kidding me?
Just breaking it.
Yeah, right. Everything still works.
Dude, you know what's crazy is people would knock on my door saying like, "Hey, you gonna sell that Tacoma?" I was like, "What the fuck is it?" And it just kept happening over and over again.
They want it, yeah.
And because a new Tacoma is like 40 grand plus, and the model that I had, they know like even if the engine dies at 300, you throw a new one in there and you get another 200 out of it. The thing just doesn't stop driving.
Oh
ever.
yeah, that's the worst part is you're going to be on the side of the road with your fucking truck and you're going to see your truck drive by, and the guy's going to be like, "Oh, dude,
that's the guy I traded that Jeep to." I bought.
That happened to me once. That did actually. I gave a guy at a repair shop my Toyota 4Runner for $1. It was done, blown head gasket. It was all fucked up. I was like, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. It's yours, bro. Walked away. Tried to siphon out the gas tank. Couldn't get the gas. And he's a Latino guy. He's like, "What are you doing, man?" I'm like, $1. Give me $1. Write it on here.
Wow.
2 weeks later, homeboy swapped that. He did it. He drove off that thing just like, yeah. Sucker gave me a fucking truck.
He's still driving it. You know that too.
Yeah,
he's still driving it.
Yeah, he sure is.
100%.
I bought a 2002 Tacoma in, I want to say it was 2010, 2009 for $8,800 with 80-something thousand miles on it. I couldn't believe it. And I sold it with nearly 300,000 miles on it last year for $2,600. You made a mistake, buddy. Hold on. I didn't make a mistake. I got a good rig out of the deal, and guess what I got for my Toyota with 250,000 miles on it? A coolant leak.
No, they gave me $9,000 on the trade-in.
Oh, yay! And how's that Jeep running right now?
It's running great.
Oh, yeah. Just the coolant leak.
It's cheap. You just add more coolant.
Exactly.
I think Jeeps are one of those things that they're living off their old reputation for sure. Like there's like everybody I know who has one is just like constantly in the shop with them.
Who said I had a Jeep?
Oh, I think you said.
I did. I made it. I was thinking of American-made car.
Wait a second. I did get a Jeep.
You did get a Jeep.
Fucker.
I was thinking of a shitty American car, and that came to mind.
Cherokee. I got a Grand Cherokee. Okay. I didn't get
because it looked like a Tacoma.
Sure.
Yeah, well, because it was fucking cheap. That's why I got it, you fucker. Put me in the hot seat.
Mo. You're turning red, Mo. You're matching your shirt right now. You're really red. You need
hot. It's hot.
Yeah.
What do you got planned for Father's Day, Adam?
Always for Coke.
I had big plans.
HR is listening, so be careful what you're about to say, okay?
Oh, no, I already told him. I was like, I'm just waiting for the rain of socks to come down on me. Come on down.
Oh, because you're old now?
Yeah, socks. Is that all you get, right? Socks is all guys get.
That's it.
Got some socks. Yeah.
I got winter socks. I got my
waiting.
fall socks. I got my toe socks.
And I got the classic, like, not that anybody really gets anything much on Father's Day anyway, but I have the birthday and Father's Day combo present kind of deal. So it's like, hey, and guess what? And it's your birthday. There you go. And you got, it's like, fuck, I got double socks.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Double socks.
Yeah. Just think if it was a day apart, you get twice as much.
Oh, I
shit.
would have had, socks and.
Oh yeah.
Twice as many socks.
No, because of the way that our family is now positioned. It's my birthday, and then a week later is my wife's birthday, and then a week later is my son's birthday. It's like we're like on
Save
the same
everything for Nick.
So it's always we just like push it to the very end. We'll be like, all right, his is on the 29th, so it's perfect. And we're all in June, and it was funny because when he was like, I was like, man, imagine if he was born on that. That'd be like crazy because we're only a week. And then sure enough, it happened. Like the fucking money. So we own June.
Heck yeah.
Which is dope.
It's a great month to own.
Yeah.
Dunn June.
Dunn June. June done right. June done right.
Done it here.
Well, I mean, back in the day, it was it was the barbecue party of the year, right? So.
At the Westerpark.
Exactly. That's why I even put it in the flyer. I was like, somebody's going to call in. They're going to remember. Dave Watson would pull out his hash balls and fucking whip out his balls. Dave Watson would whip out his balls and fucking, they were pure pepper.
Hey, everybody take one for Dave.
Yes. And which is
everyone
funny,
smoke one for Dave.
I got, look at this, Mo. I got film canister with dry sieve in there that I static cleaned.
Beautiful.
Just for
static?
Yeah.
Wait, look at it. Look up.
Just for Watson, a little static chunk here. Shaped like a film canister.
We need like the face. Yeah. You need to have people's face on the bottom of that so you can put it in there and take it out and it looks like them.
There you go. Like that face? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Look at them.
Very nice.
Just like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
just like that.
I think for Europe, it's
sure
way better for stability, to do some static, clean it all up.
Static's cool. I like to do static and still just make mid-grade. It's just so much faster to get, because I don't like full melt. I like full melt sometimes, but I tend to take full melt and stick it on flour, which is weird. So it's like you pull it all off and then you put it back on. So I like static where it's a bubble, but not just like a crazy 6-star full melt. And with static, you can get there so quick and not you don't have to try hard. It's just amazing.
Yeah, no tryhards around here. No tryhards around this place.
No, dude, I'm done trying hard, bro. I am done.
The funny thing is, look at Jesse in the house. What's going on, Jess?
Hey now.
Hey.
Dad.
We're still trying to figure out the volume.
No, it's all right. We'll work on it.
Can you hear him?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear him.
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
You guys are extremely quiet. But
it's all waiting on you now. What's going on, Jess?
Did see the carpet.
There you go.
Thank you for the assist.
Jesse, how you doing? Look, it's Dave Stern. Look at you guys.
You're also way behind. Yeah, I can't. Hang on. I'm sorry. Just talk to them. Yeah.
Hey.
You guys are very quiet. I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
It's something that Mark did then.
We're not.
It's not us.
We're not quiet.
We're not quiet.
No,
we're very loud.
Yeah.
It's because your dad is still on AOL, Jesse. Okay, you need to have somebody come in and put some fiber optics in the house. The AOL's not going to cut it anymore.
I can't hear it.
We hear you just great, just so you know. Oh, don't sweat it.
These are the guys behind the Yo Tips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Jesse thought up Yo Tips years ago, and I met his dad first at MJ BizCon, and they're like 4 years ago, right? And we've been using them religiously, almost every joint. The times that I have gotten sick, I can trace it back to not using a Yo Tip on a joint.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
we use them with everybody in house. Every conference we go to, it's one of the best products.
Oh, look at Mo's guys. Mo Tips. Those are called Mo Tips, though. Those are Mo Tips. They're not Yo Tips.
I can get behind that, though.
Can you hear us yet, guys?
You're muted, Mo.
Yeah,
there we go.
My phone is just very quiet, I guess.
Well,
So remember, I bought my antique at the antique store. It was $1.
Oh yeah, an antique. Remember that?
That was the yo tip you found.
Yeah, that
That's
was
right.
Nice.
$1 at the antique.
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm pretty
They
sure.
hold their value pretty well.
Used, the used one, man.
You were supposed to send us.
Inflation.
You were supposed to send your address so that we could send you some more yo tips because that old one.
I did send you the address, and I'm
Send it
waiting
again.
for-
Send it to the Instagram account that I sent you the Zoom link to today.
Yeah, do that.
I will do
Send it
that.
to the thing that I sent you. The
I'll-
thing to the thing to the.
Well, no, I know he's on our Zoom call, and I only sent it to his Instagram, so I know we are connected there. So that's why I said send it to that one.
Connected, dude.
Connected, man.
Connected.
What are you smoking, Jesse?
We're smoking. We're smoking some. I don't even know. My buddy gave it to me the other day. What was this called?
Oh, I don't. There's so many names. It doesn't matter. Pick your name.
It's like what Tommy says. It's fan dope. One of your fans gave it to you. That's the best kind. You're gonna have to try some of this Kaya. You know, the next time you're in Colorado, because there'd be no other way to ever get it to you in Florida.
We're gonna go get a Bluetooth or something.
Okay.
I like what Ed said. What did he say? I don't know. It's some grower grew it and gave it a name. And I was like,
Yeah. We're getting to that stage.
does it ever
of life.
happen the other way?
Well, when I think of names, I always think of the conversation that we had on the show that everybody names their cannabis completely the wrong way. They name it before it was ever harvested. They don't know what any of the profile. They just, that's what it's going to be, and this is what it's going to be. And
Well, the problem is that people started to make crosses based on the names more than on the thing. It's like naming a dog. You know, you gotta let it show itself first before you over anticipate it's going to be.
I go by the native. In the Amazon, they have a thing when a baby's born, they kind of decide whether it gets to live, and they don't want to give it a name until they decide whether it lives. So it's like you don't go like, oh, this is my baby Timmy. And they're like, oh, that Timmy, we're gonna take Timmy out.
Timmy's not going to be
Timmy
around.
didn't live so hot.
Timmy.
It's like, so if you don't name them, it's easier to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I just give every plant gets a number. They're numbered, and if someone gives it a special name, it gets a name, but it's
Tattooed.
case-free.
You get it tattooed
Yeah.
into it. Yeah. I just tattoo numbers on them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Very
Those are
controlling.
numbers too. I numbered my kids. 11 and 14 is going to get named soon.
it's funny that you say that because I knew this farmer once, you know, that raised all this different livestock. And the way they decided which animals lived and died, if they got a name, they lived. If they didn't get a name, it was like, that's a pig right there.
Sure.
It was bacon.
That's gonna be
You know, so
My brother raised pigs, and he'd hate it. I'd go up there and I'd name his pigs. He's like, no, don't do that. I was like, I'm not there with Ralph. Ralph is so cool. He's got those. No, you fucked it up. I'm like,
Ralph
sorry.
tasted like bacon. Oh no, you can't do that. I get it now. That's, you know, when they said that, I totally understood. You know, you can't give it a name. You're going to have an attachment to it. I just like watching the older Sternberg's look of despair as he tries to figure out the technology that his son really has figured. Oh, see, you hear us now.
I got to get some glass. The sad part. The sad part is we prepared for this.
That's why we never prepare on the show.
Why did we
Hey, guys,
pull out the bud chem?
I got a boogie.
All right,
boogie. It was really good to see you, Adam. Happy birthday. Have a wonderful Father's Day. Everyone
course.
else. Wonderful to see you. See you guys soon.
Thank you, Mo.
All right.
See you
Yeah, for just
soon.
randomly joining us.
Yeah, rando.
You know, totally. Just
Rando
out of the blue.
Calrissian over here.
It's so awesome that you just decided to. You know.
Yeah, I know. Well, I do. I always listen in.
Alberto, let's just clear something up here. The only thing that we've seen in focus this entire night is the got resin on your shirt. Everything else is blurry.
Thank you. But you know what?
No, put the bud
if
near
you
your
can
got
smell
resin.
it,
No, we can't smell that. We already covered that earlier. Smell-o-vision doesn't work. Adam said it was Indian people were lying.
Yeah, it's just guys pretending to smell stuff. Yeah, I smell it.
Oh,
It smells
fuck.
green.
That looks great on the camera, except the camera is not broadcasting, I don't think. Mark is going to do some stuff.
Figure it out, Mark.
Mark will do it.
you were speaking about before, the Oreos.
No, Vinny had a great idea. We have the bud cam on Adam's dry sift, and if you saw what we were seeing, you'd be going, "Holy fuck!"
If you could see what I see.
Da, 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 da.
It's all right, we're
Uh-oh, now see, Vinny's looking for drops on the old board.
upside down is the best. That's the best way to do stuff.
Upside down.
I'm hot.
Do you guys like Mark's attire? He this is his style.
I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, you're done.
That's it. He's been pissed at me the whole show.
Watch out.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out! No!
No. My bad. The bow.
Oh, look, it survived.
Of course it survived.
Holy shit.
Good Bob,
If
bro.
it was crappy, it wouldn't survive.
You see?
Then it would have just-
It's good. It's installed.
heads.
It's pure heads. So Ed's always good. Usually he's eaten on the show now. How many times? 5?
He's never had ice cream before
Nope,
with a
first time.
fork.
Ice cream with a fork.
I mean, let's just. Is there anybody out
He's
there?
fallen asleep on the show a couple times. He's like,
He's used the bathroom.
Yeah,
He looks like the
He's
type.
yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No, seriously, falling asleep.
Yeah.
You know.
Multiple times.
Wow.
That's all right.
Like not
Yeah,
just
he's
one.
earned it.
Same man to eat, ice cream with a fork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's usually that upshot too. He's got
And now he's
classic.
going. Yeah. Oh yes, that's right.
Broke it. Vinny got overexcited.
It usually is the up the nose
Good, though.
shot.
It looked good.
And they're
You
back.
had to tell him that it had to be.
The Sternbergs are back.
Are we
Orientation
Bluetoothed up
this
or
video.
not?
Are we?
It's too
Yeah.
much.
Are
now
we
we
full
now we
Bluetooth?
can't hear you. Oh my god.
No, you hear us, but we don't hear you. This is so funny.
Meta.
This is like the Abbott and Costello. Who's on
I
first?
can see it where it says muted. There you go.
How about now?
There we go.
How about now?
We
Yes,
got
sir.
you.
Now I gotta go roll another joint.
It took that long? A full joint?
Maybe 2.
Alberto for the win. All right, so tell us before we kick you guys off from Kaya. Tell us how we find you guys here in Colorado. How do people, if they want wholesale, do you use the what's the wholesale channel that is it Dutchy? Or who does?
Oh, that's
Do you
the
sell
retail.
Dutch is a point of sale system.
What's
I'm
the
not sure what they keep up
I
with.
know there's a wholesale system in Colorado. Are you guys available on that for anyone listening right now, or do they have to contact you
in
directly?
terms of like being available to search on LeafLink
Yeah,
or
LeafLink,
something like
that's
that.
the
yeah.
one.
I do not believe so.
Okay.
Chris, correct me if I'm wrong there. We do more of a grassroots approach to our wholesale.
Well, give your phone number out and your
Yeah, give
website,
your personal address.
and your social security number, your mother's maiden name,
Yeah,
favorite team, and
first dog or
Yeah.
first
just a little
pet
bit of
name.
everything.
Almost
My contact. I'm more on the retail side. Our wholesale guy Scott. It's just Scott at Kai Cannabis. Feel free to reach out to him for any wholesale needs. Mine is just Brett at the same Kai Cannabis, and Chris similar.
With a K.
For any
you just
needs
totally gave out your formula. Now we just know. So
Come
we
on
know
down.
if somebody's like Chris S, they were the second Chris you ever
Right.
hired.
Yep, I gave out the
Or at
secret.
least that. Okay.
The secret sauce. But yeah,
I get it.
if anyone were to want to collaborate on any processing in terms of these extracts that we have here in front of you,
It's
be
so
more than
amazing.
willing to work with them on the retail side, but wholesale as well. If you'd like to be able to work with us in the future, love to be able to get your flower on your shelves because, as you saw, it's nothing but the upstanding quality. And,
Oh, look at that.
It fell on the
we
ground
hope to
nice,
bring
that
even
black
more
part.
in the future.
What's that?
Is that dust?
And then we have 2 retail locations too.
Yes,
Where-
we do.
where
So,
are they?
yeah, in terms of where to find us, we have one on Colfax and then one in the Lakewood area. So
On
pretty-
Jewel Street. Yep.
On Jewel, yeah.
Oh,
So pretty
right by
close
you.
to,
Are
to
we
Red
in
Rocks.
Lakewood? No, Red Rocks. Okay.
So if you're on your way to Red Rocks, stop by us and take a look at what we got at Lakewood. That's our main flagship store.
Got it. And I don't know if you are, I don't know how you found us or how. I know you've been watching the show, so then you're well aware of what comes next at this point of the conversation. Is what's the done deal for people who come into your dispensary and say, I heard about you guys on the Adam Dunn show, and do we get it? Does the done deal work here?
Yeah, we'd love to get a done deal going for sure.
There we
Yeah.
go. And the interesting thing is that you guys really should have been at the Dude Grows Cup hash event, because I think you would have been way high on the list.
Heavy
of,
hitters.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I mean, I know I tend to sometimes over exaggerate, but I'm really gushing right now. It's at this point in the show, I'd be looking at the 6 jars here, trying to spot the one, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just put that here on the side there, and then everyone will take one, and this is the last one, I'll take this one. They're all equally phenomenal.
We all know this, Dave. You're not hiding.
They're all
You're not sneaking
they're
nothing.
all phenomenal.
We know exactly what you're doing.
Thank you very much.
We're watching every.
I mean, and I'm sure you're aware the sponsorship on the show is 50 grams a week, so you're okay with that?
Right on.
Well, cool, sweet. Vinny, you hear that?
Contact my people.
Yeah, no problem. We're
right
good.
on. We'd be happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and no propane extract, none of that. We've had. I don't like that orange. What's up, Sternbergs? Is it working now?
Got resin.
All right, we hear you.
We hear you.
Yeah, all right. So what about my balls? What does that
I
say?
can let you do your thing.
You can suck my balls.
And feel free to hang if you want, but we'll be seeing you. Like Fridays are always.
Yeah, we're always here.
Always hanging. Usually, where is everybody? What's going on? They're hiding. Oh, they're gonna come out with a giant cake. I know what's going on. I already know. Just kidding. But yeah, thanks for coming through, Chris.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate everything you
we
brought here.
appreciate y'all having
It's
us.
just
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. So you guys got to find them. It's on Colfax somewhere and Jewel in Lakewood. What are you saying to me? Breaking the floor. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you guys.
so impressed, and I know I joked earlier about it, but I'm serious. There should be a real collaboration. I say this, and he humbly denies it, but I think an overwhelming majority, if you were to roll the tapes back in all these genetics, at one point in time he had his fingers on them somewhere.
Yeah.
If it was in the 90s or the late 80s or whenever it was, but there's influences, and so it should only come full circle and bring back some of those strains grown this way. I think that's the way to do it. I think that's probably one of the reasons why you haven't seen it on the shelves, is because probably nobody had that commercial SOP that could ever really present it to the world. And what I saw tonight, unless you just cherry picked everything, and this is like the top 2% of what you have, and when you walk in, it's always the other stuff. This is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, this is what you'll find on the shelves for sure.
This is our most recent drop.
Yeah.
We evaluate weekly and continue with that quality expectation.
Well, let's get you guys. We'd love to
love
to pitch you guys everywhere in Colorado. That and anyone who listens to the show when
And
you
what
come
was
to
it
town.
originally called? Alternative. What was it?
Southwest Alternative.
Southwest Alternative.
Oh, wait a second.
Exactly. I knew it
It's
was.
Truman Bradley. Truman started Southwest Alternative Care.
Did he?
Yes, a long time ago, like back when the Epic days, this 2012, he started. 100%, yes.
Yeah.
Truman. I'm going to text him right now. Son of a bitch.
What a small world.
No way. That's cool.
Right
And I can tell you, Truman, to talk about his level of quality, I think that's the reason why he's probably not that. They couldn't produce what he wanted, and he just got sick of the industry not standing up to his level. And no, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
that's fantastic. Yeah, we go way back.
Right on.
Yeah, we go way back.
Yeah, so we have a great foundation. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's been laid right in front of us. But to be able to build on top of that, that's why Chris and I,
He's
being
OG.
recent additions
The
here.
first licenses ever issued. He's one of them.
Yeah, just hope to take it to the next level.
Yeah, well, plus if you're going to be in Boulder and you're into weed at that time period, that's why Braddis Brad did so good too,
Yeah.
because he just was like, came in, had the good OGs and had the things that people were looking for, and that was another thing we were talking about at the GGC Cup, because it was like all these like, oh, remember the old shop on Pearl? Yeah. Oh, it's like, because that place,
Sweet nostalgia.
it had that moment in time where like I was just visiting for the first time, and I walked in, and there was people standing in line to do dabs, and they were so nonchalantly just giving people dabs, and they were taking their credit card and running $12 dabs. Basically, they get like a couple good big, they'd give them a ridiculous amount, and they were just like slapping it in. But it was like I just watched it like a conveyor. It was like literally they just go like take a dab, sit on the couch, recover, stand up, go stand in line, and do it again. And I was just like, so wait a minute, you just got $48 out of that guy to do 4 dabs? Like, this is crazy.
This is nitrous money.
I couldn't believe it. And then that all died on like within a year of that time. It was over because I came back because of that.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm back. And then they were like, they're going to stop that in about a month. I was like, no. That is the best situation. Because it was like college kids with daddy's credit card
for sure
doing dabs at a fucking spot for $12 a dab. I was just
It
watching
wasn't the
like
$12. It wasn't the $12 that did it. It was the torches. If they were not using torches and the fucking politicians didn't come in and see it and daddies didn't see this torch and instantly associated with like freebasing, it would have been just fine. But it was, again, pioneering. They went a little too fast.
Sure.
Had they just really worked on it being electronic, and that's how we saw it, you $12, you'd have been doing $24 dabs of this. If that was
it was just definitely a moment in time where I was watching it, like my eyes were like flicking ding 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 ding. I was just like, oh my god, dude, this is crazy. You have they had 2 people doing it side by side, so there's 2 lines moving, and I was like, you could have 9 lines here and people would still fill it up. It was that busy at the time.
Yep.
And plus they had plants growing, and remember they had little, I don't know if you remember the spot, but they had like a little clone zone, and they had a really cool setup. I was just like, this is nice.
Well, this is back in the day.
There's the piece there. There's the
There
bob.
it
There's
is.
the dry sift there. The static.
This is the
static dry sift right there.
Ooh, more dry sift. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Sternbergs, how you guys doing in FLA?
Doing great. And in honor of Adam's birthday, we're going to spark up the hash hole.
Oh, that should be Dave's birthday, the hash holes.
Hey.
Hey, Adam, happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
What number?
Oh, 56.
56. You remember that one,
I was
Dave?
trying to find something cool about it, but it was like, 57 right away. You're thinking, like, time to go get a Bel Air.
I think I'll second.
Sure. It's time. I saw one today. I was driving along. I was like, oh, yeah, that'd be nice. That's when you get old. Like, that's about the time you go buy yourself an old car.
An old person's car?
Oh, yeah, just drive around real slow.
You mean like an American, a Jeep that will have a
I said like
coolant leak?
No, I said like a 57, like a Bel Air or something.
That'll have a coolant leak.
A real deal.
Yeah, it sure will.
Yeah.
It sure will.
Where's the barbecue at?
Where's the hash hole? Is your dad hogging it? Stop hogging the hash hole, Dave. Yeah, whatever. Stop hogging the hash hole. Hook your boy up.
He's rolled professionally by my buddy Connoisseur Cannon. My dad can show you his logo right here.
And look at that. It doesn't have a sticker on it. That's awesome.
How's the price of that in the States?
The trap brands have caught up with the dispensaries.
What's the retail trap price for a hash hole these days? What would a muggle be paying?
50 for a mini donut, and probably 80 to 100 for a full size donut like that.
There's your industry right now, Adam. That's the $12 dabs industry. It's because Florida keeps voting against any regulation of the cannabis industry, other than one of the most ineffective
the
medical.
price is the same in Europe here for this hash.
Well, because it's the same type of smuggling that has to occur, or the same type of illegality.
Yeah, but also people make it here.
Yeah, they're making it.
And same pricing.
They don't let you mix anything into the weed. So all the dispensaries could do is sell fat joints.
Right.
Only the trap can sell hash holes. So that's really helped the trap brands in Florida, and the fact that they voted down rec, obviously.
I guess thank you, Governor DeSantis. You're such a great person. Appreciate the laws here.
You know what? There's a lot more choice and a lot more competition with the thriving trap brand market down here. So in a way, voting it down, it was probably okay for the average consumer. There's no shortage. No one's having. We went to a publicly advertised event at the airport convention center, and we were smoking weed on the floor. They were selling jars of weed on the floor.
Airport.
And wait, so are they labeled like THCA or Delta 9 or something? I mean, what's they just don't care?
I think it was a combination.
A lot of them said it was THCA. Some of them didn't really care. They just said it was weed. But
see, you know what? Let's everyone just raise the middle finger to Colorado right now. Look how much fun they're having in Florida, where it's not even legal, and we're here in Colorado and can't walk outside and smoke a joint. It's 95 fucking degrees today. Nobody should be inside. Everyone should be outside. But if you smoke a joint outside, depending on how the cop is feeling, whether they got into an argument earlier or whatever it is, and that's how you'll be treated. There's no law that says, you know what, like New York, you can smoke anything where you can smoke anything. If you can't smoke, then you can't smoke anything. We don't distinguish between cannabis and tobacco. But here, no fucking way.
What's the Boulder, though? Is Boulder still real liberal, or are they hard asses too?
Say that again?
Boulder. Is that
Boulder?
liberal?
No. There is no smoke. No, you can't. I'm telling you. They look to use, unless you are smoking meth. You can get away with meth. Okay? That's okay.
I've seen it.
But you smoke grass and you will get, someone will turn toward, say something. It's just the way it is. It sucks. Although I will say, when we went to Britt Floyd last week and I was smoking a joint, the security guard came up to me and he looked at me for a second and he went, okay, you can stand here. If that was tobacco, I was going to send you to the aisle to the smoking section.
I like that.
And I went, that is so fucking awesome. And he walked away bopping. And he was a real security guard. It wasn't like, he was just pretending to be that. And so that was, I suppose that was
that's a good
step
moment.
forward.
That's a good moment.
Yeah.
There was like, Alberto, remember when they tried to make tobacco? No, in Amsterdam, they said you couldn't smoke tobacco inside the coffee shops anymore. Remember they tried that for like a minute.
Oh wow!
It was like didn't make any sense because all the Dutch people all mix with tobacco.
Of course,
they were like,
carry on to do it.
And they were like, and I remember there was like a week where I was just like, dude, this is crazy. It's like going all in our direction right now. Like I was sitting in there, thinking,
I love
like,
it.
I know you don't put tobacco in, you're good. And I'm like, yeah, this is great. Even at the milk bag, they were like that too. For like a minute, and then they switched, and then they gave up.
Isn't it like that now? I mean,
now you can't smoke anywhere. Nothing.
Yeah.
No, now you just
well, they still have the story of the tobacco. If you keep the box on the table, they say to take it out.
Right.
And some still have this jar of herbs, mixing herbs.
Fluffy.
Which, is
Do you have your phone way down low looking up your nose in honor of Ed Rosenthal for constantly doing that every time he comes on the show? The best thing. Oh, you're not wearing pants. That's why you have to have the camera there.
I'm good.
Understand. I get it now. Dave, are you wearing pants? Because we only see you from the waist down.
Nobody in Florida.
No, don't show it, please. Don't. Come on.
Nobody's wearing pants.
The camera didn't get it.
How hot is it in Florida today?
Cooler than you, apparently.
It was 94 degrees when I pulled into the parking lot on my car's thermometer. And then Mark's been glaring at me all time because I whined and he brought the only fan we have in the room and put it behind us.
That's your biggest fan, Dave.
Yep.
That was a good one. But Vinny, where was the snare shot? Rim shot, cymbal crash.
Anyways.
All right. Well, don't worry. We have another one or two people who are going to be zooming in.
Better hurry up.
About
to do our ads. We're going to do our ads. These guys got to go. Like, they've been here all day.
I did actually have somebody write back to me. I won't even say who it was. Who said, I don't even know if Adam likes me.
Wow.
And I went, oh, damn.
Okay. Wow.
I think you're wrong, but
got
okay.
one of those?
You know?
You got one of those even?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Description. Beautiful.
Well, guys.
Figure out
Do you have a
Alberto.
microphone, Katie?
Katie's got a microphone.
I gave her one, but
Yeah.
She refuses to use it.
I asked her
turned
to
it
come
down.
on, but you know,
She
she
said
said her
no.
hair and makeup person really didn't have time to really work on it.
Has
so she
way
wasn't-
more important things to do right now.
Yeah.
So she's going to be leaving us because she has more important
Wait,
things.
I thought she's. Aren't you
Wait,
coming on
what?
with us to do the thing? What? You're talking to the mic.
Seed auction.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to do it here, or what are you gonna do? Yeah. Yeah, I know, but we're gonna jump over to the. Oh, you're
Yeah.
gonna go on there and hold court for us.
Come, we'll finish up. We'll do some ads.
You can do
Come on over here.
Well, again, appreciate you having us.
Thank you guys, Brett, Chris. Appreciate you. Well, let's tie. I have your number. You have my number.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yep. Let's
Thank you so
let's
much.
talk because if you haven't tried Kaya cannabis, you really should. You really, really should.
And after you try that Kaya cannabis, come on down to So High Cafe, 4300 West Alameda.
It's like gay. West Alameda, gay.
Okay. Are you that guy from South Park?
I'm sorry, I just launched the ads. We cannot do that.
Yeah, you should. No, you can do that. 'cause
Oh, we have to do
we
ads.
have to do. We have to.
Sternberg, stick around if you want, but we're going to do
We're
some
doing
ads.
your ad. We're going to be doing your ad.
You stay here for your
Stick around
ad.
for
'cause
your
look,
ad.
see, I got a yo-tip right on this joint right here.
Alberto, nice one. Thank you, my friend.
4300 West Alameda. Come get some barbecue. If you have some records, come listen to them. You can come see live tapings at the Adam Dunn Show or the Sports Fiends on Sunday afternoons here. Expanded menu coming. Check it out.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
tacos.
awesome. Whoa, dude.
What? Was that too loud?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
Very.
I was excited about the
It was
tacos.
very.
What about the people just listening?
Banana
They
bread
don't-
at work, dude.
Whoa! I was about to bring banana bread to work today and play that because I was like,
Nice,
so
dude.
I showed that to CC today. They'd never seen it.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's.
I know. I was very banana bread at work
Yeah,
at the
dude.
moment.
So yeah, come on down. We got homestyle
Clueless.
mac, we got brisket, we got ribs, we got burnt ends.
I
So High
can't.
Cafe.
I'm really. I'm telling you guys, this would. If you were driving past, and you just saw this building, you would not say there's some of the best barbecue in the city. But you know what? You would be wrong, because Vinny's food is fucking fantastic.
Yes.
4300 West Alameda. Tell them you heard about it on the show.
I'm about to go get some right now.
Yeah.
OzoCoffee.com.
And we were able to send Ozo with Britt Floyd when they were here last week. And so they took a whole bunch home. So you want to go to OzoCoffee.com and enter Dunn Deal 2025. You'll get 20% off.
Build a soil.
855-877-SOIL. Tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. They will work with you. I don't know what the discount is, but you cannot enter it on their website or you will crash everything.
Okay.
Uh-oh. What did he forget?
Keys.
Sunglasses.
YoTip.com.
I was like, don't take the weed. I've already got a kid.
Don't
Thank
re-gift.
you, Brett.
Yo tips, yo tips.
The better way to
yo
smoke, Dave. Tell me all
like
about
I
it.
said earlier, we met these guys, I want to say, over 4 years ago. And it's a product that has kept us healthy and safe for all that time.
That's seed
It
auction.
makes any joint hit better. So you go to yotip.com, and I believe if they were still on, they would tell you that just temporarily, I don't remember, but the Dunn Deal discount will be, what is it? Are you still there?
Jesse, Jesse, right? We're upping it to 30% for the next 2 weeks, and then then it's gonna go back to 20%.
So you guys need to stock up on YoTips. YoTip.com, Dunn Deal at checkout, 30% off for the next 2 weeks. You heard it here.
On the donut. Yeah, Steve. I'm using
You need your
I'm using
MMJ card or you need a mushroom microdose therapy session, you go to holoshealth.org and you tell them you heard about it on the show.
No.
That's it.
What happened?
Still fit. They need more of that.
What do we need to do?
Just keep going.
Okay.
We got an auction to get
Keep going.
to. Come on, hurry up. Go.
Dabx.com. You enter
Go,
Dunn Deal.
and guess what happened?
Dunn Deal at checkout. You get 20% off everything. If you send them a note, you know, with your order and said, look, I'd like it branded Adam Dunn Show, they might be able to help you. You go to dabx.com, Dunn Deal at checkout, 20% off. It is the best dab rig on the market, in my opinion. You get to take big fat dabs. It cleans better than any rig out there. You take the little.
Oh, you know who has one of those?
Who's got one of those?
Alberto in the Bible.
That's right. He
He's
has
got a
several.
I
of them.
got you. I
He's got a
got
few
you.
of those
Yes.
Bible machines. That's a
So you
Bible.
go to dabx.com. You go to 14erboulder.com. You enter Dunn Deal at checkout. You get 20% off everything in your cart. This is amazing, amazing cannabis.
If you get the DJC, you have to make sure they put the sticker right on the front.
Right on the face.
Right on that face.
14er turns 15 right now. You just enter Dunn Deal. You buy anything there, you will enjoy it. These all-in-one vapes are amazing. Absolutely amazing. What is that? I didn't see that.
Grove Bags.
Grovebags.com. You go ahead and tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. They will work with you. They have commercial products. They have personal products. Are these Grove Bags? Yeah. Yeah, I know. I felt the...
Are they, though? Are they?
I don't
Real
know.
Grove Bags.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
Those are the best.
They feel like they have the same locking mechanism as Grove Bags.
Well,
We'll ask. Well, anyway, we'll get them in
Not
touch.
7 layers.
Grovebags.com.
Grove Bags. Those are the best as bin liners.
The best greenhouses in the industry, no matter what climate you're growing in. You go to hortitechdirect.com or you give them a call, 541-605-3555, and you tell them you heard about it on the show. You're going to get 5% off your order. The greenhouses, they're tricked out. They're in the 30 grand. 5% saves you a ton of money. You go to hortitech.com, and you're going to get, what is it, a 10-pack of brushes
On top of it.
on top of that with every purchase. No
That's
code
nuts.
necessary. Terpwipes.com/Dundeal. Terpwipes.com/Dundeal. Numbnutsco.com. Dunn Deal at checkout gets you 20% off any CBD peanut butter or almond butter shipped to you. Or you can click the Find Our Nuts button and see if they've got their THC peanut butter in stock for medical patients in Colorado. Jerome Baker Glass should be listening right now and not leaving me hanging, who might be 4 minutes late in zooming in. And this is your last chance because we're running through these very quickly.
And we're going to go over.
And we're going to go over, and people are going to miss out on hearing from some random person who's just going to call up.
Staying on. We're not going to Patreon right away. We're just going to go straight through onto this thing because they're already
To
doing
the
it.
seed auction.
Yeah. So we have the most capacity.
Yeah.
SeedsHereNow.com.
Speaking of seed auction.
Number one cannabis seed bank. Breeder of the month, Breeder X. Flavor of the month, cherry flavors. Buy 3 clones, get 2 free. SHN auctions are alive and well. Check it out at SeedsHereNow.com.
Because it tastes good and they like to party.
I want clones.com as well. Get your
I want clones.com.
I know.
cult
Just
jacket.
Get your cold
Is it
jacket.
CLOM?
I want clones. I want clones.com.
I'll be in New York, boy.
Somehow erased it, but
Okay, and
I
then
got a package for
you
you.
got that, and then okay, so there we go. There's
Join the
that.
cult,
Look
get
at
the
all
coat.
that. Okay,
Join the
cool.
code, Get the code.
Get the coat, join the cult.
And I sent you a link for
I'm taking care of it right now.
taking care of business. Now we're going over to
Mark, we
seed auction.
appreciate all your hard work behind the scenes.
Yeah, 'cause
We-
I don't
we
even know
love
if
you,
it's
Mark.
gonna work or not, so we'll see.
I pray it
If
does.
not, Katie's going to jump on it, and then we're going to.
I'll jump on
start
and
eating
Whoa.
it and wearing
hang
it.
hang out.
Like, oh my God. I
Chat,
can't believe
come
it.
visit us over on the seed auction. It's for plant buddies.
I thought we
Come
were going
see
to
us.
show videos from
I can't hear you
the Vindicator.
at all, Vinny.
We can.
I
but
hear
we
Vinny.
got to go. The auction's on now. We have to. We can't fuck
Oh,
around.
okay.
It's not-
Auction
it's
on now?
Live.
Auction on now.
Auction on now.
Auction on now.
Auction on now.
Alberto, thank you, Mr. Bobbleman, for joining us tonight.
Guys, it was a pleasure.
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know he's rager. He's going
Yes.
out. He's about to eat dinner. About to
We
have dinner.
appreciate
He's about to
you.
eat dinner.
Dinner. It's dinner
And 20
time.
and 25 degrees here.
Oh, it's nice and
This
toasty.
show is worldwide.
With no AC. Nobody's got AC.
No.
Nah.
That's why he didn't have pants on.
Thanks a lot for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, anytime,
You're welcome.
Man. Always good.
And have a wonderful birthday. I wish you all the best
For sure, man. Thank you.
to you and the family. Thanks a lot again, guys.
There he is. The herbalist is on his way out.
No, it's not the
Guys,
herbalist now.
good
It's
night.
Bloom
Thanks
Room.
again.
Bloom room. Oh, bloom room.
Bloom Room.
Bloom room.
Bloom-
Bloom Room.
Oh,
I love
you
it.
got to keep up with the Joneses. All right,
Peace.
sir.
Let's see
Take
how
care.
old he is.
Uh-oh, he's
Go
getting old.
figure.
He's getting really old. How
My
you
sister
turn this
married a
off?
Jones.
There we go.
Oh.
My sister's.
That's a
Did you find
perfect
it?
end to the show.
Find what?
Psychedelic.
So what you do is you back up the other one right behind them.
Uh-oh, is that what you're trying to do? You're trying to train
Oh,
him?
you're trying to show
Trying to
Mark
train
how to
him
make
how to do
yeah.
the birthday
For the thing?
explosion? Oh, the thing. Oh, yeah.
To create
Watch
the
Dave.
rainbow.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Dave does jazz hands live on the Adam Dunn
Are we
Show.
doing a seed auction? What are we doing?
We're
We are
moving
doing a
over
seed
to.
auction.
We're at
I mean,
seed.
we're also ending our regular show.
Okay.
We're ending the
We
regular
love you
show.
guys.
We love
We're
it.
so happy
Happy
that
birthday,
you
Adam.
came.
But we're
Thank you
staying
for doing
over
what you
because
did.
we
Showing
don't
up
wanna-
for
we don't want to
tonight.
lose everybody.
And
We're gonna try to
we'll
get
get
we're
this
gonna
started.
stay.
Everybody ready?
and then we'll-
Here we go.
I'm super ready.
Oh
Who's
yeah,
that?
no,
Show
that's
us
All right, so
Ah, here we go.
Mr. Big Toes, you're
Okay,
on.
that's
What do we
okay.
have here?
So yes, we're doing a seed auction.
Item number 1 pack. We got looks like we got a Barney's Farm lemon drizzle in
It looks
there.
like we're in.
10 pack. Donated by yours truly.
Can they?
I don't know.
We got
The auction?
Should be
a
able to.
tart Tayton. Is that what that is? Yep. Looks pretty fire. Strain Hunters. We got some Royal Queen seeds, some Royal Runs, cookies gelato from Big Toe. This is from my boy Billy Adam. Shout out to him. He's an awesome guy. Donated last show. Got some Atlas, a few packs, Slurricane. I believe that's peanut butter. What is that? Peanut butter breath.
Peanut butter.
Berry pie. Some fire. Still got some. Ooh, this is from Can a Guy Grow. Shout out to him. It's my dude. Donated some Jedi Kush from Cali Connection. That is Peach Panther crossed with Jealousy. That's from Tiger Autoflower. I think we donated a lot of those last year too. So that's also from Can a Guy Grow. Look him up on Instagram. He has some awesome grows going, some autos that are just bigger than most of my photos. So check him out.
Heck
Donated
yes.
this. So thank you, buddy. Purple Dream. Okay. Mephisto. What we got? Stream. Oh, I can't see that, man. Brain freeze.
Sound like a
Brain
nice
freeze. Brain freeze. Ooh, that sounds wild. Then those elevates donated back. Man, we gotta look up who donated those back. I'm sorry, I don't know that off the top of my head right now, but we're gonna find out who bought those last time. They actually donated them back for us to sell for the next show. So thank you for doing that. Can't think who it was, but we'll figure that out throughout the show. It's a long night. So there you go. That's item number 1. Pack number 1. Everybody excited? I hope you are. I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Thank you guys.
Just to recap, what we want to do is, if you want to bid on this pack, we're going to start the bid off at $50. You want to at Chunky Nugs to catch my attention. Enter the auction number, which is number 1 for this auction. Add your bid increment of 50 or 5, unless you're starting off with the $50 reserve, and then also tag the person that you outbid. So if I was outbidding Jim by $5, I would say at Chunky Nugs, auction number 1, I'm bidding $55, and I'm also going to add Jesus Plants because I outbid him. So if everybody is ready to roll, I think it's time to start the timer. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Organized.
Yeah, this is spectacular.
All right, so let's.
Dude, you guys run a pro ship right
I
here.
was
Holy
thinking the
moly.
same thing. Kyle
want-
texted me. I was like, they're actually on time.
Yeah,
Have they ever watched the show? Do they know we are never on time?
We
I love
do
it.
know that we can hear you, Katie.
I know. Now you can.
Yay.
Now I can hear you guys. I moved, so I can hear you and I can interact. So good to see you all. This is
Cheers,
exciting.
all. Thank you for jumping in right after your show.
It's a
No,
pleasure.
it's not right after. It's
You're on the
technically
show.
during.
You're on the show. Yeah, we're on.
We haven't
You're on our
ended.
show. Our
So
our
we're
whole
on your show and you're on our show. We're
Exactly.
co-showing.
It's a big reach
yeah.
around. It's a reach
So we
around.
have That-
Done
You
show
know,
reach around.
I'm as old as Dave. I don't know if my heart can handle this.
Oh, this is funny.
Adam's older than I am. Fucker.
I don't believe you.
Okay, how does that work
just
then? If
look older.
they have to auction in your chat then, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys have to go over to the other chat because you guys are in our chat, y'all. Can
I am so
can one
confused
of
at
you
what's
send me
going
the
on.
link and I
Yeah.
can post it in our chat so that they can go over there because we've got all of our chat gang, and
Yeah,
I'm
get
sure
in
they
here,
would
man.
love to be able to.
Chonky, can you do that?
Yeah, let me.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
Yeah.
I think I might be able to do that. Let me see. I'm gonna go.
Let me see here if I can just make the. Yeah, here we go. Invite Katie. Where do you want? I'm gonna send it to your Instagram.
Okay. No, go over there.
I know. I just talked to you not that long ago.
Big Toes is killing it over there. Good job, bud.
Oh.
Here, you guys want to see? And we got the.
There you are.
Here.
There you go.
There's a good look item pack number 1 too.
Katie, I just sent it to your IG
I just
again.
got it. I'm gonna copy this and put it in our chat.
There we go.
Come join us.
Item pack 1.
Oh,
It's like a live.
this is live action right here because we've got 73 in our chat. Come.
All right. It looks like we have our first bidder.
All right. Nicholas Morris. Appreciate you.
We
Heck yeah.
appreciate you, Nicholas.
That's a good. You're getting a lot of seeds for $55, so that's awesome.
Yes. Anybody out there, get your bids in. We are down to 4 minutes, 20 seconds.
I've grown the Peach Panther. I haven't grown the Peach Panther, but I've grown from the company that purple pack is.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty fire. The gastropop was out of this world. So there's like 10 seeds in there too, and I believe there's 10 in that Lemon Drizzle Barney's Farm, which the picture looks unreal. Strain Hunters is great. Those Atlas, the Slurricane are crazy good.
You guys got some great.
Those are pretty good too.
Yeah, you guys definitely got a lot of donations. This is spectacular.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, our lineup's pretty crazy tonight. So.
Yeah, if you know anything, you guys definitely come over and check
We're about
this
halfway
out.
done with item pack 1. So.
Yeah, and just a reminder to everybody: if I do see anybody with racial slurs, vulgarity, or any kind of hate speech, I will remove you immediately, like I just did to Captain Cultivar.
Real.
We're all out.
I'm sure, Jem, you can see that on the screen. If you go to comments.
And you're out of here, buddy.
Yeah, there's no space for that.
Yep, permanently banned.
See ya.
All right. So it looks like we are down to 2 minutes 40 seconds for this lot. We have a high bid of $55 from Nicholas. I will say I've grown out some Royal Queen before. The criticals came out like monsters. I grew out some Barney's Farm. Actually, that was my first outdoor. People told me I couldn't grow Laughing Buddha outside in Vermont, so I grew Laughing Buddha outside in Vermont, and it was a pretty good grow. And right now I'm actually running some Strain Hunters King's Juice autos.
Okay. Are those some of the ones that you just put out in your field?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I'm sorry. No, the King's Juice. So I'm not afraid to transplant autos, but Mother Nature had different plans for me this year.
Okay.
My autos that I was gonna transplant ended up starting to flower because they were too long in their 1 gallon pots, and they got upset with me and decided to flower.
Okay.
So I killed those and started some King's Juice, and those are actually in my 5x5. That's a couple feet away from me. I just wanted to grow them out a little bit before I put them out in that field.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
a
I was
beautiful
talking
field
to
you've got there.
Weird. What's that?
Oh, he was communicating with somebody else.
Okay.
Your field is beautiful. That's a spectacular space you've got up
It
there.
is, man.
Thank
Talking
you.
your field's awesome, dude. I love looking at your story and everything.
Yeah, I love. I was going through it earlier. I've been all over the place, so I finally got a chance to take a look at your stuff. And all of you have some pretty cool stuff going on. So thank you. We appreciate all the support and just the positive vibes. That's what Plant Buddies is all about. And so thank you guys for embodying that in a very real way.
Yeah, Katie, after this auction ends, we have about 45 seconds left. Would you like to speak for a moment or two about Plant Buddies? I tried to recap the mission statement, and I don't think I did a very good job of it. So would you like to recap that, your mission statement, talk about more about Plant Buddies, how people can donate if they want to donate if they're not on the auction?
Okay.
And we can do that in a few moments if you can.
Absolutely. It
All
looks
right,
like
everybody.
Nicholas Morris is going to get this.
Yep, we're down to 15 seconds. So any last minute bidders, we're at 10 seconds. Get those in before Nicholas wins this prize lot.
This is getting hooked up.
Here we go.
$55. Here we go. Congratulations, Nicholas.
Congratulations, Nicholas. So just to recap, at the top of the YouTube live chat, there is a link right directly to Plant Buddies donation page. Once you make that donation, please send an email with a screenshot to jim@seedsman.com. I'm failing at the banner for Jim's email address. Jim, can you throw that up, please?
It's up there right now.
I see it. It's on the screen.
There we go. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
jim@seedsman.com. Once you send that screenshot, Jim will send that those seeds out to you. Just make sure you contact myself or Jim, Jesus Plants, with your information, and we'll make sure to get those out to you. And Katie, I do believe when you make that donation on at PayPal, that is tax deductible. Is that correct?
It is. Everything goes
Okay.
to the 501c3, which is Plant Buddies. Most of our guests on the regular Adam Dunn show, they know about us because I started it with myself, Adam, and his beautiful wife, Cece, who will be joining us soon. And it's a beautiful kids garden collective, and we are international, and we believe that all of the lessons in life are in the garden, and it starts with the kiddos. It starts with the seeds. It starts with the babies, and really nurturing them and creating a beautiful environment for them to grow. And that starts with conscious awareness and our intentions. And so our entire mission statement is all about really applying all of the lessons that come up in the garden. You know, all the seasons, taking care of the soil, having clean water, taking care of clean air, having the interconnectedness of all of it.
And that's how we started.
Composting.
That's how it all even started. Was so Nick, my son, who was in a school in Denver, which was like the first school that he was in was like a prison, dude. It was like you had to go in and go up the stairs
Inner city
to the classrooms, and they didn't have a outdoor area. It was like inside, and everything about it was kind of weird.
Yeah, like they had turf inside. Maybe not even turf.
No turf. They just had a gym. And so we ended up taking him to. So we had another school called Garden Academy, which was in Globeville, and Globeville turns out is the most polluted zip code in America, right? In America, like not even fucking around. So
very industrial
So he went from
area.
like in a prison downtown to a place called the Garden Academy, which apparently was you couldn't even use the garden because of the fact that it was, had been cleaned. They had come in and taken the first 20 feet off the top and put in some new soil there, but it was still kind of considered a bit funky. So we were like, hey, we want to donate a bunch of plants to this school because we feel like that would help just with the air quality of inside the school itself. So we picked out plants that were
a part of the
NASA approved, kind of like what they would put on the space station if they, to exchange CO2, and it was basically like snake plants and all these like tropical plants and
air purifiers.
And yeah, they were natural air purifiers. And funny enough, we went to Hawaii. My wife and I and my kid went to Hawaii, and where we were staying, every single plant that was in our sort of repertoire was just growing there wild. So we got to see them in like large scale. So everything was like screaming to us to just kind of like continue with this path. And we started with air. That was the first campaign, and then that school, funny enough, like right after we came in with this concept, and we brought in we like donated $1,000 worth of plants. We brought them into all the classrooms. We talked about it to the kids, so they kind of got an idea of what we were even there for. And our kid was sort of like the in between for the teachers and stuff, and they would ask him questions about growing, and it was pretty awesome because it was just pre-COVID, right? And then COVID hit, and then everything that was like, okay, time to get him out of there. But at the same time, like right the day after we came in there and asked them questions about the air quality and told them like, hey, you're in this zip code, which is terrible. You got I-95 and I-70 meeting like right there. You know what I mean? It was like everything about this place was like pretty toxic. And they ended up getting a gauge the city brought in to check the air quality. They just happened to come in the day after we were there. And they were like, yeah, it's kind of weird. They came in with this gauge and installed it at the school because they want to know now how bad the air quality was too. So we just kind of started there, and then the obvious part is plants. Oh, there's my wife. There she is. There's
Hi,
Cece. And yeah,
Hi, Mama C.
And she's been doing more campaigns
Good to
from
be
there.
here.
So I was just explaining how we started at Garden Academy. Which
Love is in the Air campaign.
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
jump in
No,
there.
we naturally became the air was our first cause, and it makes sense. Our vision, our first, and what creates synthesis for the sun, and yeah, so it's been it's that happened, and now we've come so far. We've done campaigns on all Gaia's elements.
Yeah, we've completed multiple conscious campaigns would be a great term for them. I can hardly hear you, Cece. I want to hear what you're saying. I wonder if it's she's at the farm, and sometimes they get interesting internet
We have
connection.
farm tech. We have farm tech out there. So yeah, now I know how bad I sound. I'm on my side.
Yeah, that's.
I was trying to explain that to Peasy last night. He's like, "Fix your internet." I'm like, "I can't. I live in Vermont. There's no."
No, it's funny. Some places are just like that. They're just dead zones, and that place is a special place too. So it's nice to be somewhere where it is a dead zone. I'm happy to see you here, Cece. And yeah, everything that all of us have just shared, I'll piggyback on what Cece said with we've done a bunch of campaigns. We've been playing with the idea of what to name them. However, somewhat of a soil circle where we have tea gatherings for the kids, and each time it's been a really cool lesson about. The last one that we did was a Mayan cacao ceremony, and we did that with a charter school here in Crestone, which was beautiful. And we had a beautiful cacao ceremony, and we were taught about this. We did the in collaboration with a dear friend of ours who also started a nonprofit for their kids called Prana Seekers. I want to give them a little plug too because they're phenomenal, and all of our work is with Prana Seekers, and this is all multiple families that came together through gardening and conscious awareness around what we want to be taking care of, and that is each other in community. That is our soil. That is our food. Our nutrients really matter. The density of our nutrients matter. Our air quality really matters. I'm from Colorado, and not far from where Adam's talking about the first campaign, which is out in Commerce City, Globeville, and it's all industrial space out there. There's not very many parks. It's right by the freeway. Complete food desert, and so now this school has a beautiful big garden that they had grown off the side of it that I think they have started planting in. And that's the first donation of all those photos on the screen are the first donation of plants that Cece, Adam, and Nick were planting all together, transplanting into the little pots that we took to the school. And each one of them, they've been like cool field trips is kind of another way that we can describe it. Soil circles, tea parties, field trips, all of them have had cool, really, really beautiful lessons for the kids. We had a beehive, and that's pictures of Nick right there processing the honey with Cece and Adam at the farm. And then we have a place in Denver called Botanic Gardens, and that is a beautiful garden in the city, not far from where we donated our first plants. And we had a tea party for all the children there and got to wander around the gardens. And that's basically what Plant Buddies is. It's focusing on life's lessons, teaching the kids life's lessons through all the lessons in the garden, planting seeds in the conscious awareness of what we do want to grow, what we are trying to cultivate. And thank you all for just listening to this, because this is definitely a different side of me that you guys don't get to see very often. Everybody kind of knows me as not really this. So I appreciate you holding space for us to push Plant Buddies a little bit more, because this is really important to us and to all of us in community. So thank you guys for seeing that. These seeds are, like, these donations are going to be wonderful opportunities for us to teach kids more about organic gardening and just being together in community and what that looks like for all of us to be connected. And we can share so much more than just any kind of money. And so for you guys to be donating your money and your time, just truly, I'm so grateful for it, because this is our baby, and this is for all the babies in the whole world. Each one of these lessons, if any of you have children, please send me your information. And Go Get Mommy's Meds on Instagram. Send me your information. Any kind of gardening tools we have. I have seeds I would love to donate to you guys that are for the garden. Any kind of veggies or herbs you're interested in, holler at me. I would love to share seeds and share information with all of your babies. So that's my spiel on Plant Buddies. That's what you guys are here to support today. And it just truly means the world to all of us, from the bottom of my heart, Adam's heart, Nick, all the kiddos. We've got Zovia, Beja, little Nick. Everybody hears about Nick. We've got Jalen, my daughter. All of our children sit on the board. So this is not just about teaching them. It's about giving them a seat at the table. Nick is our tech guy. He works on so many aspects of all of this with us. And that's what we really want to do, is empower these kids through conscious awareness and all these tools that we have access to, and the allies and the plans that all of us have access to. So thank you guys. I'll go more on about it later. I'll let us get back to the auction. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. That's beautiful. It's awesome. It's an honor to be able to have this.
I was like, what am I going to go on here and say? And I just let it flow from my heart. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for letting us be a part of this. My question for you is, if you ever need any chaperones, can I be a chaperone? Because this just sounds amazing.
Thank you.
Field trips every day. I could do a field trip every day. So
heck yes.
If you need a chaperone.
I appreciate that very much. I will be reaching out, my friend. This is cool stuff.
Let's Jim, you ready to get into to number 2?
Item number 2, yes, I am. But
all right,
it's very cool to have Plant Buddies and you guys all on our show and our charity of the month. It's an honor.
It's so cool to be here with you guys. You guys have been spectacular through the whole process, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work with you guys. So it's cool how everything is so interconnected, because it seems like, we're all in alignment on a lot of things, guys. So thank you. Truly an honor.
That was cool.
All right.
Awesome.
So Big Toes, are you ready, my friend? Here you. Oh, Jim beat me to it.
I am. There we go. There's item number 2 here. Let me get the banner off.
Macro Pistol, do you have your wallet out, buddy?
I do. You know, Square One and THC Titan is one of my favorites. So
I do. So I don't know. I'll set this one out, I guess. I have privy information of what's coming up too. So.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I just got our first item number 1 was paid for, Nicholas Morris. So I got your email, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. So Jim, what do we have in item pack number 2?
Item pack number 2 is donated from Green Earth VA on Instagram. I don't know if I'll give his name away. I don't know if he wants me to. So I'm going to put a banner up who he is. You can check him out on Instagram. But This is my buddy in the Treehouse crew. Shout out to them. They'll like that. I think that's what we established as our code name for our. It's a group of guys and gals that I'm chat with, that we talk growing and cloning and breeding, and we send pics. It's really fun. They're awesome people. Yeah, this was donated from one of those guys. The Robin Hood Genetics, all awesome stuff there. I've never grown any of it, so if any of you guys have any more info, I've heard nothing but good things, and I know Mr. Canucks grows a lot of that. So
yeah, Macro Pistol, he has a prize. Well, I call it a prize of THC Titan. What do you think of THC Titan, Mr. Macro Pistol?
I think that since I started running his gear, it's probably been about 4 years now, I want to say. I don't think that there is a point in time in which in one of my spaces or tents there isn't something from one of his lines. I'm testing out some iced up cherries right now from some pictures I took last week. Get to sample that, chopping that today, probably after this. And I got some frozen abyss from him too. So, I mean, the man stays putting out some
So
good
you have my address, by the way. So once
Oh,
those
you
are
know.
chopped down.
Oh yeah, sir. I got it. Send you some
All right.
samples of both for sure. And then we got that ocean fruit too. We got to run this winter. So
Yep. So Macro Pistol, I can't say enough about this man. I met him at a cup earlier this year, and I was telling him that I was looking for ocean fruit, and in my mailbox, guess what shows up is a 10-pack of ocean fruit. So thank you, my friend, very much for that. And
You're welcome.
we're going to be. 3 of us are going to be running an ocean fruit pheno hunt during the wintertime this winter. So I'm looking forward to that for the Robin Hood seed. Or these are Square One seeds, not Robin Hood.
Yes. Yep.
So for those who are unfamiliar with Robin Hood Square One THC Titan, THC Titan is the breeder of both Robin Hood and Square One Genetics. Square One Genetics are all tested and approved. Robin Hood Genetics are not tested. They are made and just sent out. So, all right.
Appreciate
Are we
the
ready?
transparency.
Are we ready for number 2 to start off the bid? So again, we are going to instructions. If you are going to bid, please at Chunky Nugs. That way, I can see a red mark next to your name to know that you have bid. Enter the auction number. Enter your bid increment of 5, or if it's the reserve bid of 50, please put 50. And then tag the person you outbid. So if Macro Pistol entered the $50 reserve, I would at Chunky Nugs, auction number 2, $55, and then at Macro Pistol to let him know that I outbid him. That way he has a chance to counter bid.
Big Toes, you writing down who's winning what over there, bud? He's writing with what he's got it.
You know, that was the one thing that we didn't go over before the show is who's going to write down the winners. So I'm glad you took care of that. So yeah, so we're still on show number 2, everybody. This is my first solo show as a host. Gramble got me started and let me loose. So you guys have you're getting me for the raw and the real. I'm raw dogging it tonight. So
yeah, the Chonk is holding it down. I appreciate you, Chonk. You're doing awesome, buddy.
And we're
I didn't even sweat at all. I didn't even forehead sweat at all.
Yeah,
it's just crazy.
You're doing good. You're doing good. All right. Also,
my wife's laughing at that right now. For sure.
Here we go. We are starting that 7-minute clock. Good luck, everybody. Remember, $50 reserve, and then $5, a minimum of $5. But please keep it 2 $5 increments, 5, 10. 25, 50, whatever it may be. Please to keep it an increment of 5.
And we're gonna jump off on the show and jump back on Patreon in a second right now too. So we'll be back probably right around the time the auction's over. So I'll see you guys in a second.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Sadie.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate you, buddy.
Of course, guys. Thank
Thanks,
you.
guys.
And we've got everybody in the link too, so we'll hopefully jump everybody over there. Peace out.
This is a good pack here. Hey, while we're on here, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Seedsman and Tom